Hi everyone, Mike here. Our episode on Wonderboy will start in just a few moments, but first, just a quick heads up. Due to some technical difficulties, my audio track on this episode is not up to our usual quality, and you will hear me drop in and out quite a lot. We tried our hardest to fix it, but unfortunately we've had to upload the episode as it is. Hopefully things will be sorted for our next episode, and we're sorry this one has had to come out in the form it's in. We hope you understand and are still able to enjoy the episode. Anyway, without further ado, here's Wonderboy 3, The Dragon's Trap.
Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is September 3rd, 2017. My name's Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Mike Tyson.
Did you just nearly forget your name?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Just a little mental blip.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
I think it's a glitch in the Matrix. No, actually, I'm not. I don't feel well.
Ah, shit, son.
How are you, Mike?
Spiffing, actually. Yeah, lovely. Just having a little sip of my tea, getting ready.
Just a nice cuppa.
Yeah, lovely cuppa.
Cuppa.
Lovingly made.
Speaking of cuppa, we got Tom Reagan.
What's up, guys?
Hi, Tom. Sounds like
Got
a
my
tasty
cuppa
cuppa.
as well.
The important thing is I didn't forget either of your names.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, that would be key.
Yeah.
Just don't forget your own name at work.
No. I shan't. I do have a slight glimpse into what it feels like to be 80 because I decided to start working out again, even though it's 110 outside. And I thought it'd be a great idea to go through the hip exercises that I used to do when I had my hip surgery. I can't walk up the stairs.
Oh, crap.
Like, my thighs are just completely dead. So when I walk, I have to do this weird chicken walk. Like, as I outstretch my leg, I have to make sure my knee is completely locked before my foot comes down. Otherwise, my thigh can't support my weight. So it's like I'm doing this really weird body shuffle with a butt jiggle and a chicken walk all shoved into one.
Oh, man.
Are you having to sleep downstairs on the sofa?
No, actually what I do is I crawl up the stairs on my hands and knees.
I didn't think you had stairs in your house.
Oh, I do. I got a 2-story. Tom, we have a new house, remember?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we moved. Going down the stairs is
Upstairs.
going down the stairs is 10 times worse. Fortunately, the walls are pretty close, so I can like press my hands against it and lower myself down each set of stairs.
Oh.
Slide down on your bum like a toddler.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. But I don't want to give my kids any bad ideas.
They'll figure it out eventually. Well, learn early.
There's not a lot of space at the bottom of the stairs. It's like stair, sofa table, wall immediately. So they have about 1.5 feet to slow down and stop. I suspect a lot of tears. I should just get a cardboard box and slide down.
Yeah, get a mat.
And then just put a mattress at the base.
Yeah, that's...
Some more, but...
Well, I mean, I already need surgery on the other side, so what the hell's the difference?
that's what doctors are for.
Yeah.
You've got insurance, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've already been to the hospital once this week, so... What's another trip?
By the way, that photo you sent us with your trousers right up to your nipples. If you...
There is zero context. Okay, yes, go on.
It looks like a face. I was mesmerized by it.
By my nipples?
No, just the fact that it looked like a face. Like
I mean, they are nice nipples.
There was like the nipples looked like the eyes, and then like where the bottom of the trousers were, it was like a mouth, and it just looked like a face. And I was mesmerized.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a bird. I'm not sure I'll send that one out though.
Put it. Make your own Christmas cards this year and send them out with that on.
So the Just Photoshop that section out.
Yeah.
And then my armpits look like furry ears.
Shop in a bit of snow around the edges.
Yeah.
A bit of tinsel, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A bit of context.
Greetings from Eric and Christy and the kids.
A bit of context. I had to go to the hospital and get an MRI done on my brain last week. And
To see if he still has one.
yes, the verdict is still out. But they make you get undressed and put on these huge trousers that seem to fit anyone from a size 21 waist up to like a 65 waist. So I hiked them up as high as I could, which was probably about 3 inches below my nipples.
Did they give you a belt as well?
No, just a drawstring.
Oh god! Did you have this really long cord coming out of your trousers?
Yeah, it was really big. If you look closely at the picture, there's a giant bow on it. So I had at least like another 24 inches of waist size I could have played with.
Why can't you just wear your underwear? Why do you have to wear trousers?
I don't know. Maybe my underwear has metallic objects in it because I don't know if you know how an MRI works, but metal's not good for it.
Yep.
They had to make sure I didn't have any metal in my brain or in my eyes.
But weren't you sending text messages from the MRI scanner?
Oh, I was in the dressing room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought you were just sending us those photos while you were having the scan. I wondered if the doctors were cool with that.
No, have you guys ever had an MRI done?
No.
Oh, man. They lay you on a table, and since mine was on my head, they gave me earplugs, and then they gave me headphones, and then they put foam all around my head while I was laying inside this brace that was about an inch away from either side of my head. And then they put this cover over the top of your face, which just about touches your nose, and you have about an inch by 2 inch hole to look out through the ceiling or look out through the top so that your head is completely encapsulated. And then they slide you into the tube, and the tube has about 3 more inches of clearance. So you're just completely squished in there.
Ooh, that sounds claustrophobic.
Well, they gave me a lorazepam, so I was on a different world.
Okay. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. It's not really a painkiller, but it's like a really high grade anti-anxiety. So
so to speak.
Yeah. I was in this ethereal state between asleep and awake, and just all of this weird imagery shit was happening. It's sweet. And then they shove you in a tube, and there's just loud banging around.
But you're just too screwed up to care.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
Didn't care one bit. But no, I haven't heard anything back about the results on that yet, so I'll be sure to let you know if they find anything, i.e. a brain.
I wish you best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
How was your guys' weeks? Weeks? Weeks
and weeks.
Yeah. Well, technically, how's your past fortnight?
Or even my past month, because I've not been on the show.
No, you were here with Nancy Gilbert, surely.
Shh!
You can't fool us, Tom.
Can't pull that iron curtain.
Stop pulling the curtain back.
I went to Comic-Con a few weeks ago, to
What?
Manchester Comic-Con. That was cool.
You told us nothing of this.
Yeah, this is the first we've heard.
I'm pretty sure I sent...
If
thought I
only
sent
there
you
was
some-
some sort of chat group you could have sent us pictures.
I swear I sent you some messages. Maybe I didn't.
Must be some other podcast he's part of, Eric.
No, wait. I sent you because I bought a piece of art that was the landscape from Super Mario World
Nope.
to hang on my wall. Definitely did.
Nope.
And
Lies. Hold on,
Cheating.
I'm gonna look at my
Cheating.
auto-saved WhatsApp images. I see
bet it's there.
nothing.
Yeah, he's
when
gonna
was
find
this? Give me a
This
date.
was
I sent
end of July.
July. Oh man, I see.
Yeah, it was.
The last thing I'm going to be sending us is the Uncharted dick pic.
God, we send so many dumb pictures.
We really do. There's so much crap going on.
The end of July?
Yeah, it was like the 23rd or something.
It's been that long since you've been on here.
I don't think I've been on since I went to that Comic-Con.
Nope, there are no pictures in here from you.
It's cheating on us, Eric.
Well, it was good.
Yeah.
but
Nice effort.
But there weren't any. There were no games. It was all comics and fan art and TV shows and stuff like that. So yeah, but there was one cool thing. I could have got in the queue to meet David Hayter and get him to sign all my shit, but I didn't even know who's going to be there, so I didn't have anything with me for him to sign. Just so annoying. So I went to one of those little retro game stalls to see if I could pick up a cheap copy of Metal Gear and get him to sign that, but they were selling the original Metal Gear Solid on PS1 for 25 quid.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
they always jack up prices of games at those Comic-Cons because they know people are going to buy it.
Yeah, and then it was another 20 quid to get him to sign stuff, so I just thought, nah, I'll just kind of watch everybody else get their shit signed and I'll just cry.
I've only ever paid for 3 autographs at a Comic-Con. I had, I think his name is Aaron Douglas from Battlestar, then Jamie Bamber, and then Nolan North. I had him sign my copy of Uncharted
you had
4.
all your...
That's cool.
That was good.
We should ring up the old David Hayter and see if he wants to come on the show. He was on our old podcast.
Yeah, he was on that.
I just came to do Snake impressions all the way through.
We had him introduce the show as Snake.
Yeah,
That was
so
a good time.
cool. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, it was.
He seemed actually really upset when he didn't get the gig for Phantom Pain.
Yeah, definitely.
He was definitely screwed out of that.
Yeah.
And he heard about it after they'd already announced to everybody else, I believe. Like, just, no, we don't have a need for you, thanks.
The guy who was, like, moderating the queue to see him was telling us, just do whatever you want, but just don't ask him about what it's like to work with Kojima, because he's tired of that question. Because apparently he's only met him twice.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't a big deal, and he's just like, yeah, I really don't have much to do with Konami in Japan. It's just...
They send me a script, dude. I read it.
Yeah, precisely.
And we email it back.
Yeah. And then I think apart from that, I had my buddy down from Germany, my rap buddy.
Did you make a new rap video?
We didn't. But I just took him all around all the sites in London and just like get a big old tourist weekend. Good times.
Speaking of which, guys, we're like 30 days away from Eric's European excursion.
Eric leaves the continent.
Yeah.
An idiot abroad.
Oh yeah! Across the pond. Oh man, I have this list on my desktop that I just keep adding to shit I either need to bring to do over there, and then I have a separate list of things to straddle.
Sweet. So what are your top 3 things to straddle?
Buckingham Palace.
Of course.
London Bridge. Eiffel Tower.
Oh, nice.
Because, yes, I am aware that the Eiffel Tower is not in London. Tom and I are taking a trip to Paris, a romantic getaway.
City of Love.
Yeah. Is Dan the next one down? Next thing, straddle.
Yeah, Dan's absolutely fourth, followed by Mike's hair, then Mike.
2 separate entities.
Yeah. I just want a picture with your hair between my legs. Straddling it.
That can be done.
I think that first Saturday that we're there, though, is just going to be a shit show of Straddlefest around the city.
It's definitely shaping up to be.
We've got to get Dan on his straddle form, although his latest straddle picture was quite good.
Yeah, he's got the feet off the floor now.
Yeah.
There's no stopping him.
Yeah. It's getting there. It only took him, 5 years?
Yeah.
But he still has a lot of ground to make up for that kangaroo picture.
I never thought inadequate about the size of a gorilla.
So, his gorilla definitely was bigger than yours.
Yeah, it happens.
Yours is average, Mike. Cracking open beers already, huh?
Just a carling to get me through the afternoon.
A what?
That's a beer. That's a really cheap, nasty beer over here.
So you guys need to send me a list of other things that you want from America. I'm still trying to devise a way to bring biscuits in a can without them going bad.
It's not been figured out yet.
Well, no, because they need to be cold.
Wait, if you tell me what they are, I can see if I can find them here.
Dan's looked everywhere.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. But they won't. They won't be in Pity Me.
You just need Pillsbury flaky layers biscuits.
Yeah, if they could-
Pillsbury.
They'll be in London.
There, Tom, I will just send you a picture. They're Pillsbury Grands, flaky layers, biscuits.
Jesus
And this time, I
Christ.
swear to God, you will eat them.
Look at these things.
Oh, they're so glorious.
God. Wait, let's look at the nutrition.
Oh, they're
my
not
God.
healthy. 160 calories per biscuit.
Holy fuck.
160 delicious calories, though.
470 grams of sodium.
Woo!
And then if we want to get real fancy and like get super American, we can put some bacon and eggs and cheese in the biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
20% sodium.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Holy fucking Norwich. Jeez, have you seen this? Look at it. Look. 19%.
Tom, I'm looking. This time I will feed it to you like a baby, like a mama to her baby bird if I need to. You will eat a
That's
biscuit.
That's how I have all my meals. Jeeves just spoons them in.
Jeez, look at take this into my mouth.
Massage my throat so it goes down.
Jeeves and Motherbird this into my throat.
Less spit next time.
Right, Gran's flaky layers.
No,
Why
no.
are they called flaky layers?
Because they look at the picture, Tom. Look at
They
the
look like-
look at the doughboy flaking those layers off.
The Doughboy.
That's his name, the Pillsbury Doughboy. And when you poke him in the belly, he goes.
Okay, so I'm on Pillsbury.com and I'm on the review section. First review, 1 star. I just don't like the taste of these. I wish Pillsbury would bring back the original biscuits that you could find in a 4-pack. Those were the best biscuits ever.
Well, that's one person out of 7.5 billion.
Okay, next review, 1 star. I don't like these biscuits at all. I'll never buy them again. They've got a bad taste.
Who the hell goes to a biscuit website and leaves a review on a $1.50 can of biscuits?
But I'll give it to you, Next person, 5 stars. These are good cut into quarters and then deep fried and rolled in powdered sugar.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
America.
Oh, yeah. Caitlin 333, I know what you're all about.
Oh, my God.
America
But
in a can.
Tom, you absolutely have to find the ones that are in the can, the pressurized can, and they're in the refrigerator section.
Okay. I will take pictures.
I just don't think I can get these over there without them spoiling.
Without them losing their freshness.
Yeah, if you do find them, buy like 5 cans of them because you guys are going to like them.
5 cans.
Just gonna get there and his fridge is just gonna be from top to bottom.
Cat's going to come open the fridge and like, Tom, why are there so many biscuits in here? Eric's coming to town.
I was like,
Well, actually, no, she won't call them biscuits. What will she call them? Shitty cakes?
first of all, they're not biscuits.
The shitty cake.
Oh yeah, because we've got that. I sent you a picture of that American candy place. That had loads of stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they'll have some Pillsbury biscuits. I'll check it
For
out.
for anybody who's wondering why we're spending so much time talking about Pillsbury biscuits, go back and listen to every episode from 2015.
Yeah, that's
Take a hint, Mike.
fair shout.
Hey,
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 hey, leave me alone.
leave Mike alone.
I listened to one of them.
Leave me alone.
On the video game front, though, gentlemen, it has been a very productive 2 weeks for me.
Me too.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I finished
Strangely.
Horizon.
Me too.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Amazing game.
That was a while ago.
It was stellar, even though I feel like I shortchanged myself and played the game a lot harder than I should have.
You really did.
Yeah. I was somewhere in the middle with that one. I didn't upgrade my stuff for ages. It would take me a long time to take down a huge machine.
I just got way too engrossed in the story.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Story's
And then
excellent.
didn't want to go do any of the side quests. And that's a mark of a really good game, is like typically I get sidetracked really quickly, which is why my time spent in The Witcher, most of it's not on the main story. I'm like, I'm just going to do all this side stuff because there's so much of it to do.
For me, it's kind of the other way around. If I find myself doing side quests, it's because I'm genuinely enjoying playing the game so much, and I want it to last.
Yeah.
I was like a kid with Final Fantasy 15 because I was enjoying the battle system so much.
That's true.
Just kept doing all the side stuff.
That
was really fun.
I was talking to one of my old buddies, who's actually part of the Facebook group, Scott Girardi. We convinced him to get Horizon, and he didn't really look at the map much till he had the whole first section on the right explored. Lord knows how many hours he has put into it, and he's like, holy shit, this game is colossal. But he was complaining about his only complaint about it is that you can't climb on very much. It's very predetermined what you can climb on. So I was thinking back to when I first started playing this, and I put this in literally the day I beat Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it was a huge step backwards for me in terms of exploration, and I think
Seems to be the general consensus online that I've read, like the best, because they're similar in the way you explore the world. It seems to be the best way to play them is do Horizon first, then Breath of the Wild. That's
absolutely.
I've read that in a lot of places. I mean, I've not played Breath of the Wild yet, so I'm kind of glad that I have done it that way round. If what the internet says is true, and we all know if it's on the internet, it's true.
And if it's on factory sealed, it is a fact. It's right in the name.
Well,
Factory.
yeah,
Factory.
Good point.
Now go back to side quest on
We
Horizon.
start with facts,
and we end with seals.
then we club them. Anyways.
It took me so long to do Horizon because that first part of the map, I didn't get past that for so long because I wanted to experience so much of the game because I was enjoying it that I just didn't carry on with the story. Not because I didn't want to, it's just that every time I finished the quest, I then look which quest was closest, just go to that, then go to the next one, go to the next one. And I got to a point where I had to actually just stop myself doing side quests to actually get through the game. Otherwise, I would be playing this next year.
I think I only found one tall neck.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I found 3, I think.
Nope, I only found the one at the very beginning that they kind of force you to go up.
Yeah.
I got them all. But it's funny because obviously I stopped doing side quests after a certain time, and that sort of southwesterly side of the map, I'm guessing a lot of side quests are done down there, but you barely touch it if you just do the story later on.
Yeah, that's true.
I went
down there I didn't even go to.
I went into the final mission. I believe the recommended level was 35.
I think, maybe.
I went in at 28. I had basic arrows and fire arrows, and that was it.
I was 39 going into the final fight.
By the time I came out, I gained so much experience in there just due to my low level that I think I ended at 33 or 34. But,
yeah, you've definitely done yourself an injustice, Eric. There's some of the weapons that you upgrade to and some of the fun you can have with them. It's fantastic. Hands down, I'm going to put this out there. Hands down, this is the best PS4 game I have played.
I'd have to think about it before I commit to that because I've played a lot of PS4 games.
So far, it's my game of the year, Horizon.
See, for me, it's a toss-up between Horizon and Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is quickly
Yeah.
becoming one of my favorite games of all time. It was just that good.
I've only put about 10 hours into Breath of the Wild so far. It's one of those ones I'm chipping away at every now and
How
again.
can you not just plug 70 hours into it in 2 weeks?
I don't know, actually. There's something that I'm really enjoying it, but you know how it is. There's always so many other new games that come out. I mean, I just finished Uncharted Lost Legacy.
I rolled the credits on that one last night too. Mm-hmm. What a stellar game for $40.
So cool. Yeah, totally worth it. Totally
I think
worth
I
it.
rounded it out at just under 7 hours, 6.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, I think I was about 8.5 because I was collecting all the tokens in the first.
Yeah, I got all the
open
tokens.
worldy bit. Okay, took me a
My
bit
only
longer
complaint
'cause I
with the
got a bit
recent
lost.
Uncharted games is that they've added. It seems like they've added more treasures and they've made them way more difficult to find. Whereas in Uncharted 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, for the most part, you could pick up most of the treasures just organically playing the game.
Yeah, that's true. In Lost Legacy, there were times when you had to really go off-piste and like navigate your way to a small cave at the side of a cliff that you weren't going to go to, and that's where the treasure is. And there'd be another 80 or 90 of those.
Reminds me of Tomb Raiders by the sounds of it. I've not played
Yeah.
it yet, so
It's so good.
Oh, it's really good. And
I wasn't sure how I would like the character interaction between Nadine and Chloe, but man, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, totally.
I've heard Nadine. Is it Nadine? I've
Yeah.
heard that she's not very interesting.
You got to know her backstory, and you'll know her backstory based
Yeah.
on Uncharted 4.
Okay. Well, I picked up Uncharted 4 this week. I haven't started playing it yet, but I've picked it up. Ready to play. So
That game is a trip. The only thing that I will
Yeah.
say, Tom, is that I never thought they would even come close to matching or even topping the train scene from Uncharted 2, but I'm pretty comfortable in saying that I think they did it.
Yeah, I think so too, because so much goes on, like gameplay wise, on the train scene for Lost Legacy, and it's just an absolute. It's just really thrilling. It's like being part of a AAA blockbuster movie.
Yeah, it just the variation in what you're doing. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Tom, did I hear you
No.
say that there's a like open world element to it?
Yeah,
Aspects of it.
It's definitely slightly more. It kind of opens up a bit after the first couple of chapters to be a slightly more non-linear, where you can choose. You still have to do ABC, but you can do them in whichever order you want.
Right.
And you kind of have some free roam. It's like a very small, like limiting map. But I was kind of reading online that maybe it was the start of Naughty Dog figuring out, maybe they were teasing and experimenting with the idea of building something that was a little bit more open world in the future.
Well, apparently Uncharted 4 was supposed to be their last Uncharted. Then this was going to be DLC for Uncharted 4, and they just rolled it into a new game. But this is, as far as I understand, officially Naughty Dog's final Uncharted game. So are they going to pass the franchise off to a different developer? Who knows?
I kind of hope not.
I'd kind of be okay with the franchise just dying.
Yeah.
Because there comes a point where any good franchise, you just start to milk it.
Yeah, and then it will just ruin the name.
Well, and that was kind of some of the criticism of this game was that it just felt like more of the same. But then on that same coin, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I didn't mind that at all. And also, even though I know it's pressed on its own disc and it's been released as a standalone game, similar to the way Last of Us Left Behind was, it's still DLC. It's still part of Uncharted 4. It's still part of that same environment.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't feel like it should be totally graded as it's... Because people were hoping this would be the next step in the Uncharted series, but I totally didn't think that at all. I thought it was just going to be more story, fleshed out characters like Nadine and Chloe, and just more of the same, and just more in depth. I thought it was really fun, really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Totally worth
It
$40.
was like that though. Uncharted 3 was just more of the same, and that got stellar reviews. I think IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
Well, because they had such colossal set pieces in that game.
Yeah. But I mean, that was because I played the first 3 pretty much back to back, and in some ways I kind of regret doing that because I got a little bit burnt out in sort of halfway to 3/4 way through Uncharted 3, but I still enjoyed it. But it was,
there are a
you
couple
see
of,
the massive difference between Uncharted 1 and 2.
scenes in Uncharted 3.
And then you go on to 3, and it is just kind of more of 2, but that wasn't a bad thing either. But it was more of the same of 2, but that wasn't a bad thing. But people complaining that Lost Legacy is more of the same. I don't really understand what they want, especially considering it was started off as DLC.
I'd just say that anybody who likes the Uncharted franchise and is on the fence about getting this, Dan, buy the damn
I can't
game.
believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Oops. Only a half hour.
Actually, I'm really surprised Dan's not all over this game, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. He's a pretty avid Uncharted fan.
Yeah. But
I've only avoided it literally because I haven't played 4 yet, so...
Yeah, I think you
enough.
need to play 4 to not understand, but
yeah, definitely for
enjoy.
gotta start with that.
But I definitely need something a bit more linear after Horizon. So
Yeah, I can only take so many open world games per year.
Yeah.
I remember from Phantom Pain straight onto Fallout 4, and it definitely ruined my experience of Fallout 4, because I think I was definitely burnt out on open world games.
Shit.
I never finished Fallout 4. Just definitely
And-
lost interest in it.
I've been playing Just Cause 3 as well.
Yes. Is
Another
there anything
open world
more
game.
satisfying than that game?
Yeah, it's really satisfying.
I think I have 80 plus hours into it, 50 of which are probably just dicking around.
I keep trying to beat you because you're the only person in my friend list that's played it at all the different challenges.
Yeah.
Like flying the longest with the wingsuit without touching the ground. Longest parachute and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
good
get
luck.
close on a couple of them, but you really set some high bars there. I was like, how has he been parachuting for 4.5 minutes? I managed to get 3 minutes 50, and then I had to land.
So the trick to that one is find that really tall mountain,
Yeah.
and then it takes a long time to climb up that because you got to use your grapple hook, and then parachute, like pull yourself up, and you jump off
And then
there.
just hold down.
Yep.
Yeah, and and you have your legs go out. Yeah, okay. So
Well,
the
and
way I
then-
did it was
Yeah.
I just took a helicopter as high as I possibly could go, and then jumped out, and then tried to do it that way.
You got to get really good at grappling the ground while you're wingsuiting to keep yourself going.
Yeah, totally.
That game is just such good fun. Storyline
So
is a
over the
complete
top.
mess, but that's the point of the game.
I've not played it. Is that the one they've just released on PS Plus?
Have you never played a Just Cause
Yeah.
game?
I haven't.
Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike. You got to play Just Cause.
Well, it's Just Cause 3, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta play it.
I've got Uncharted to do first.
Put that on the side burner.
No.
Uncharted 3 is one of those
yeah.
games that you just pop in and unwind.
Uncharted 3?
I'm
Or
sorry,
Just Cause 3?
Just Cause 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can just switch your brain off and play that one.
Yeah. I mean, you can grapple civilians together and then tie them to gas canisters and launch them into a gas station.
Awesome.
While other civilians are dangling from the canopy and then get launched up. Or, oh man, my favorite, Tom, is you find a crane and you grapple a cow to it. And then you put those rocket boosters on the cow's ass. And then you fire it, and then the cow starts swirling around. And then the goal is to let go of the tether at just the right time and see how far you can launch the cow.
All right, Earthworm Jim.
I've not done any of that yet.
God, it's so much fun.
It's definitely way more fun dicking around like that than... Because some of the... I don't know if they're actually main missions or side missions, but you kind of have to liberate these settlements, right?
Yeah.
And you get this legend on the side where you have to take out like 4 speakers, a radar dome, 6 trucks, bunch of propane tanks or whatever. And sometimes you can just be running around forever trying to find the last couple of bits, which is kind of annoying.
Like the power poles.
Yeah, and like the speaker stuff, and also if you've got a huge radar dome, but you just you just happen to not have much artillery on you, like you're trying to kind of chipping away at it, trying to figure out the best way to blow it up.
It's so fun, man.
But it is really good fun.
I love that game. Anybody beat any other games, or should we get on to our game of the week?
I beat Sonic Mania. Well, I haven't got the Emeralds,
Oh
but I
yeah,
finished
that's right. I beat that too.
Shit, I have not beat that yet. I'm so stuck.
it. Stuck.
Yeah, I'm actually really finding it quite difficult mainly because you only get 3 lives, and then if you kind of waste one, and then you get all the way to the end of Act 2 and lose against the boss, you're right back to the beginning again.
Tom, it's all about getting good and getting them coins to get more guys.
I know, right? Just not good enough.
No.
I haven't got it.
I think I finished with 2 Chaos Emeralds.
I have 3. Yeah, 3.
I think this is the first Sonic game I've ever beaten.
The giant rings to get to the special stages to get the emeralds are so fucking well hidden on this.
Oh yeah.
on Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I can find them left, right, and center. But on this, I think I went through 3 zones and didn't find a single one.
All of them I found by accident.
Did Dan not get any Chaos Emeralds?
Oh, he had them all.
He's done it.
Oh, I heard he got... never mind.
The good thing is, though, once
Scuttlebutt on the street was Dan is lying. He hasn't even bought this game yet.
he doesn't even know So Nice the Hedgepig is.
So nice.
But no, the good thing is once you beat it, you can start that save again. You've still got however many Chaos Emeralds you got and can go through the game again and carry on from them.
I did feel a bit cheaty going... Not cheaty, but I just... Most of the bosses I went in with very few rings. And I would end up just getting hit.
He said rings!
Oh no. The jig's up!
Somewhere Dan has just had like a little aneurysm.
All right, I better convert back to calling them coins. I went in with 1 coin, and every time I'd get hit, my whole goal would be to just get that one back, and then just keep chipping away at the boss, making sure that I just have 1 the entire time. That's how the final boss was. It got really tense there at the final, the final few hits.
Nice.
But I did enjoy it. What a great game. That's how franchises need to be revived.
Yeah.
Not Mighty Number 9.
No. Yeah, I'm glad I got it for
Hot
Switch
turd.
because it's good fun to play on the go. Like I'll always give it a crack because obviously I'm really stuck on it, but I can just get it out at any point and just try it. And it's good for a portable.
I don't think I beat any other games this week.
I've started another game.
What?
Well, it was free on PS Plus a few months ago. I was planning on getting it anyway because me and Hazel enjoy playing horror games together. I say together. I play and she winces behind the club.
Oh, Until Dawn.
Yeah, started playing Until Dawn. Now that's
good.
interesting.
So
That's
good.
a great game.
Just don't be like Kat and read about the ending before you get there.
No, I haven't. But yeah, we're enjoying that. It's really, really interesting. Have you played it, Eric?
Yeah, I haven't beaten it though.
Yeah.
I find it terrifying. I'm not very good with horror. I find
It's
it
so
absolutely
tense.
terrifying. Yeah, and just all the jump scares, they just get me every time.
I find myself, like during the proper quick time event bits, and it'll be like, take the path or take the dangerous route. I try and take the dangerous route just to make it more interesting.
Yeah, and you think that you might be rewarded if you take the dangerous one by the game. Like that's cool. The only other game I've started recently is the latest season of The Walking Dead, A New Frontier.
Is that the one with Michonne?
No, it's Javier and Clementine.
I didn't even know that they continued on past Michonne's series.
Yeah, it's a whole season, 5 episodes. It was £10 on sale.
Oh, sweet.
I think I've burned out on those style of games though.
Oh, I still really like them. I think they're good because I play them with Kat, and we just and also with this new one, the main difference, apart from a few other UI differences, is they've got crowd play, so you can connect with your smartphone, and other people in the room can also make decisions.
Oh, wow.
So that's quite cool, like increasing this kind of social aspect of it. You don't have to just play it on your own.
Nice.
I always wait for those to come free on PS Plus because both the first 2 seasons of that I got free on PS Plus. I've never paid for a Walking Dead Telltale's game.
Yeah, and if they don't come out free, they always go on big time sales. Like the Telltale collection was like £22 at some point, which was it was like a good 6 games, I think.
Yeah, it was Tales from Borderlands, Game of Thrones, the 2 Walking Deads,
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But I already had like the 2 Walking Dead, so it wasn't.
I really enjoyed playing those
so
games as they came out, and then waiting for each episode. Because at that time we were doing the Mana Tank podcast, and we would talk about an episode and then wait for the next episode to come out. It was just that sense of build up to the next episode coming was really good.
Yeah, I got that with Life is Strange. I was very up to date with that one.
Oh, I haven't played that yet.
That was free on PS Plus recently, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's
on the list.
Yeah, it's so good, guys. Really good game. They've got the next like the prequel coming out. I think it's a prequel in a couple of days. Might even already be out.
Is it called Episode 1 or something? Got something.
It's like it's Life is Strange Before the Storm.
That's it.
I think, and then it's and it's like kind of I think it's prior to the events of the first season. But yeah, I'll definitely get involved in that because it was good fun.
Good stuff. Should we get on to our game of the week?
Well, there's one thing I wanted to bring up, Eric.
Please do.
I don't know if you guys saw. I just want to get your guys' thoughts now. I thought it'd be quite interesting to discuss on here. Have you guys seen in Australia? There's a store called EB Games, which is an offshoot of GameSpot, I believe.
Yeah, those used to be huge here.
Yeah, they filing somewhere in Australia where you pay like $20 Australian dollars, which I think is about 16 American dollars, a month, and you basically can just rent out all of their pre-owned collection. You go in, get a game off the pre-owned shelf, rent it out, take it back, get another one off the pre-owned shelf, and then take it back, and it just works like that. And then if you decide you want to buy the game, you then go in and just pay for it.
That is a fantastic deal.
Wow.
I remember Blockbuster did something like that one summer when I was a sophomore in high school or something. It was $20 for the game card, and you could just rent unlimited games. We went through every game in their PS2 collection that summer. You could rent a game, go home, play it, sucks, go back 20 minutes later, rent another game for $20.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing that makes it interesting. Originally, they were going to limit it to, like, games had to be below a certain value. Now they've changed it to the entire pre-owned selection. So, say something comes out one week, someone trades that in after a few days, that ends up going on the pre-owned shelf. You can get like a game that only came out a few weeks ago.
So, do they go into any detail about if you take one of the pre-owned games from the shelf, how long can you keep that for before you have to get it like renewed or?
Well, I'm assuming it's $20 for unlimited, and then it's just per month. So if you keep it for 3 months,
well, it is like a subscription service. So yeah, you pay the $20 and go in and out of the stores. But I think it's. Go on, Tom. Sorry.
You're allowed one game at a time. Okay, that's cool.
Apparently, it's called Swap and Play.
But it's genius if you think about it, because I know there used to be the through the door mail renting things. I think there's still some around. Like I think there's one called Boomerang Games in the UK.
Yeah, like GameFly.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is genius because if you think about it, it gets people going in and out of their stores.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, plus it's just more income for them too.
You got a pre-owned selection sat there gathering dust. Might as well make some money from it.
Well, when I went in to buy those amiibos, they kept trying to talk.
Eric.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't told that story.
Eric got me a Cloud amiibo.
Well, the Cloud Player 2 amiibo.
What up?
That wasn't even released in the UK, was it?
Was it not?
It's a GameStop exclusive.
Maybe that's why I couldn't find it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That must be it, yeah.
And they were apparently pre-order only. A few of the GameStops have gotten random shipments in, but as soon as they come in, they're gone. Anyway, there was one store here locally that had 2 of them in stock. So I went in after 48 hours, which is GameStop policy. We hold pre-orders for 48 hours and then we sell it. Went in, they said, nope, they're on reserve. Like, great, it's been 48 hours. You can sell them. Nope, district manager policy. We hold them for 3 weeks. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I used to be a GameStop manager. I know that's not right. Well, it's our district policy. Okay, fine. So I have a friend who works at another GameStop in that same district and called him up and like, is this true? He goes, absolutely not. So I went in a week later. I'm like,
there's context, son.
Yeah, can I buy those amiibos now? Nope, still on hold. Like, and I went through the whole spiel again. They go, yeah, well, our store manager's not here, so you'll have to talk to her about it. Came back another week later. They still said no. So I went back last week. Store manager was there, and she gave me that same spiel. We have to hold them for 3 weeks. And I went, great, it's been out for 5. I would like to buy them. Well, our district manager, blah, 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 blah. Like, I would like to buy them. It's been 5 weeks. They're just sitting in your drawer. I know they're here because all the other GameStops have said, you have them. Well, if you'd like to stand off on the side, I can call the pre-orders and see if they're going to come in and pick them up. Like, clearly they're not. It's been 5 weeks. So she goes and calls him, and I text my friend who filled me in when I was driving over there about my one inquiry to these 2 amiibos apparently caused a colossal feud within the district between district managers. Because this one district manager that was passing down this directive was not supposed to be doing that. So this other district manager caught wind of it and started laying into this guy about it. So my one inquiry just caused this massive ripple. So I stand off on the side and I text my buddy, like, dude, she's not going to release him to me. He's like, give me her number and her name. So he calls her from his store and just chews her out because he knew what was going on. He knew that she knew what was going on. Long story short, she finally had to sell him to me because he said, you know what, this is garbage. You know you're not supposed to be holding these, company policy, so on and so forth. It's the little victories in life. But anyway, back to my...
Horns rang out through the land.
Back to my original point. They were trying to get me to pre-order stuff, like the Xbox One or certain games. I'm like, I don't want the Xbox One, period. But these games, yeah, I do want. But I'm just going to be frank. I can get them for 20% off on Amazon. So sorry. She goes, yeah, I can't blame you for that.
Wow.
So, circling back to the original thought, Play and Swap is a great idea because it keeps customers coming into their stores.
Yeah, actually, while you were... I just had a look at that Boomerang service you mentioned, Mike. Mm-hmm. It's like £10 a month, and you're allowed the same sort of deal, one game at a time. But you can just post it back and take the next one on your list.
For a little while, do you remember I said a couple of years ago, I got rid of all my consoles and everything and went traveling and whatnot. For quite a while, I used the Love Films version of that. There was basically a company here in the UK called Love Film, and it was... Oh,
yeah, Dan used to use that.
Yeah, it was filmed through the post, but they were doing games as well, and they stopped doing the games, so I ended up unsubscribing. And I never bought games. I literally had my list of games, they sent me them, and done. But the only thing was I didn't really keep any games, obviously.
See, when I did Gamefly, though, they'd give you this big list that you'd have to fill out, and then the stuff I wanted to play was always at the top of everybody's list, so I'd never get it. And I'm like, well, this is like 15th on my list. I guess I'll play Donkey Kong.
Yeah. The downside that you'd have these lists, and sometimes you're in a mood to play a platformer, sometimes you're in the mood to play fighting games, sometimes you're in the mood to play an RPG, and they'll send you games, and you're like, I really don't want to play this now. Like, I remember they sent me Super Mario Galaxy, and I really wasn't in the mood to play a 3D Mario game, and I think I played it 5 minutes and sent it back, and then I didn't actually play Super Mario Galaxy for another 6 months or so. I could see that it was an amazing game. I just really wasn't in the mood to play something like that at the time, and that was the downside.
I've never played that game.
Oh, God, you're killing me. You're actually killing me.
Wait, it's coming up to being old enough to be on the show?
Mario Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah.
Our cutoff is 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's 10 years in about November.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'd love to have an excuse to play
love
that.
Mario Galaxy.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it came out November 1st, 2007. Holy God, that makes me feel old.
No, I never played Galaxy or Sunshine.
I never played Sunshine. I think we should try to do that. But the problem with that is that you have to get it on GameCube. I don't think it was on the Wii U Virtual Console, was it?
No, because that's a big thing that everyone's wanting on the Switch Virtual Console when it eventually comes out.
I did play it a little bit back when I had a GameCube and really enjoyed it.
It is possible to emulate.
I suppose.
I get the general impression, because I've not played it either, I get the general impression it's kind of the black sheep of the 3D Mario.
Yeah, I would agree.
I heard it was.
I mean, you've got a backpack that shoots water.
The people that seem to love it really love it, and the people that seem to hate it really fucking hate it. It's the impression I get.
We'll fall somewhere right in the middle.
That'll think,
Yeah. Speaking of in the middle, Wonderboy 3.
oh, what's a segue?
Get it? Because there's 5 Wonderboy games, and this is the 3rd one.
I don't. I kind of get it, I guess.
It's a thinking man's joke.
Got it.
Whew. Whew. Moving on. That was our game for this week. Much to the enjoyment of many of our listeners. I didn't realize we had such a wide breadth of Wonderboy fans out there. I don't know why we chose 3.
Yeah, why did we choose 3? Because I almost started playing the wrong one.
Shit if I know. I don't even know how we came to this consensus. I think somebody recommended it.
I just got told we were playing it.
Yeah.
I do as I'm told.
And boy, what a gem. I can see why people like this game.
Yeah.
A little bit of history behind this. Did anybody else do some history reading on the game?
Bit.
Or shall I
very
bestow
little.
upon you my knowledge?
Take it away, Captain.
Wonderboy 3, The Dragon's Trap, is part of a series called Wonderboy. That's all I know. No, I'm just kidding. The original...
That would have been better if you did the slow clap.
The series originally kicked off in 1986 for arcades, but then was soon ported to...
Hey, it's the same age as me.
Me too. That means we're 31.
Oh, not yet. Not till November.
After that, it was ported from arcade to the SG-1000, which I'd never heard of.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I think it's a Sega system. A little late on the slow clap there.
It was. I think it was a really old Sega system. I remember hearing about it. It was only sold in Japan. I saw one when I was in Japan. It looks really cool.
What's it called, sorry?
SG-1000.
The SG-1000. The controller is like a... It looks like a TV remote with a stick in the middle.
Yeah, kind of like the Atari stick.
A little bit like the ColecoVision.
It sounds like it should be a robot sent back in time in Terminator.
CG-1000.
Port old arcade games. It also came out for the Sega Mark III, which was also the Master System, and the Game Gear. Total of 5 games.
How
one of
cool
them,
does the Master System look? Such a retro console. Like, it's just...
Let me see.
Like, I mean the original...
It looks really good.
Japan version, yeah.
It looks really good.
When we were younger, we had a Master System 2, the one with the big clunky, like flap where cartridges go in. Because obviously it had a game built in, didn't it? So you could play it without a cartridge in, and every time you got a cartridge, you clunk it back.
We had my friend had Alex the Kid pre-installed in his Master System. I don't know if that was a standard. I guess well, they all had that game maybe, or
I believe I could be wrong on this, but I believe some had Sonic the Hedgehog in, and some and some had Alex Kidd in. The one we had, Alex Kidd.
Yeah, awesome. Sorry to take you on a tangent there, Eric, to hardware, but I just
No, you're fine.
I was just looking at the Master System, and I realised it was quite a forgotten console, really, because the NES was so much more popular.
Poor Sega.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just here, but yeah, I remember we had a Mega Drive in our house, and I don't know why, but randomly my sister asked for a Master System one Christmas. I'm not sure if like a friend of hers had it or anything like that, and she randomly got a Master System, and the games that I remember playing on it, I always remember feeling that they felt so inferior to the Mega Drive, and I never really enjoyed it that much as a system. I mean, Alex Kidd was always fantastic. So when we said we were playing a Master System game, I was a bit like, I don't know how this is going to go, but I really enjoyed this.
Well, good.
I seem to remember the console itself was really popular in just random parts of the world, like in South America. Sega Master Systems and Mega Drives were made for like much longer. Like they were available in retail stores for like a good 5-10 years after everybody else had given up on it. It's just emerging markets were like totally digging the Master System, which is just totally random, but there you go.
The series Wonderboy follows a character named... My iPad just turned on. Shut up! I said series, not Siri.
He's admitted to having an Apple product!
How could you, Eric? All the shit you give Apple products, and you have one right there.
I'm going to edit that part of the show out.
I'm just going to keep it every now and again, so you've got loads to edit out.
Make a note at
Eric
1 hour 25. Edit out
Apple
iPad mention. The series... God damn it, don't turn on! Shut up. Let's try this again. The series follows... Damn it! I'm turning you off. She keeps going, what can I help you with?
Just plug it. I'm pretty sure the Hey Siri feature doesn't work if it's unplugged.
Ask her to read out the history of Wonderboy.
Yes. It follows Wonderboy, or simply Boy in the Japanese version, as he saves his girlfriend. This is the first one. From the Dark King, also renamed Drancon, in the Game Gear version. Then the sequel, Wonderboy... And the reason I'm going through this is because you need to know these small nuggets of information to understand what's happening in Wonderboy 3.
The first one on the Master System. Because it's the one where he's wearing like leaves, like a caveman.
Yeah, he's like a Cro-Magnon.
And for some reason, sometimes gets a skateboard and a helmet.
Yeah. And you're invincible for one hit on the skateboard, something like that.
I just
the second
remember it being really ridiculous because he looked like a caveman, then suddenly he'd get there with his on and be like a young Eric Peterson grinding down the street.
Massive skateboarder. The second one, Wonderboy in Wonderland, follows the events of the first game, but it's 11 years later. Your character's name is revealed to be Broccoli Temjin. However...
Broccoli?
Broccoli Temjin.
Is that what he had round him? Was it not leaves? Was it just broccoli?
Well, his name is... Maybe it's Bockley. Broccoli?
Oh, Bockley.
Two Lee.
Yeah,
his middle name is Lee. Lee Temjin. But get this, guys. Get this. Guess what his friends call him?
Bockers.
Tom Tom.
Not Yum Yum.
No, Yum Yum. So Tom didn't even need to change this character's name to be him times 2. Tom squared.
Excellent. That's how I like it.
There's peace in the land until Mecha Dragon arrives, begins terrorizing the land, and the people, who are all enamored with Wonderboy after his events from the first game, call on him to save the land again. And then Wonderboy 3 kicks off after that.
I thought it was cool that it started at the very end of number 2.
Yeah, the first level is kind of a simplified version of the final level from Wonderboy in Wonderland.
And then you face the boss. You face Mecha Dragon at the beginning of it.
Yes.
See, I didn't know any of this, and I was thinking, this game's pretty easy.
So Tom goes into the dragon's lair, slays him, and as a result is cursed and transformed into a lizard. Your goal in this game is to undo the curse by defeating other dragons to obtain, in the end, the Salamander Cross.
I didn't realize it was a curse. I just thought that was a skill he had.
No, it's definitely a curse.
Oh, for God's sake!
I
Well,
found
you
it.
know by now that I'm a big believer in these old games of reading the instruction manual. A lot of times you get story, and this is what I did with this game. I checked the instruction manual out, and yeah, it explains all this.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you've
generally
got a physical
don't.
copy of it.
No, I found the instruction manual online.
Oh, nice.
This particular version of the game has had a ton of re-releases. It first came out, I made a quick note of them here. It first came out on the Master System in 89. Then it was ported to the PC in 1991 and called Adventure Island, which isn't to be confused with the NES game Adventure Island. This one was published by Hudson Soft, and they were not allowed to make any references to Wonderboy, but essentially it was the same game. Came out on the TurboGrafx in 91 called Dragon's Curse. Came out in the Game Gear in 92, and in Japan under Monster World 2 Dragon no Wana.
I
1990...
had it growing up, and I didn't have many games for it, but I would have fucking loved this.
Oh, yeah. I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
Game Gear 2 and didn't play much.
No.
93, Tectoy released the game in Brazil for the Master System, but they replaced all of the sprites with characters from a Brazilian comic series called Monica's Gang, which apparently, during the remake for the Switch, a lot of fans were calling out to the developers to include homages from that version with the sprites from Monica's Gang, but they couldn't because they didn't hold the rights to those characters. 2007, it was released on PS2 in Japan as part of a Wonderboy collection, which, get the name of this collection, Sega Ages 2500 Volume 29 Monster World Complete Collection.
.com.
At Hotmail.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it came out on the Switch, which is the version that I played.
Nice.
Did you play through with the original graphics, Eric? Or
I bounced back and forth between them. Every screen that I went into at some point, I checked out the original graphics just to see how it compared. Which I want to talk about the remake version for a couple seconds, because I watched the developer diaries on this, and this is...
I was about to say, I watched the developer die. Just saw him jump off a cliff.
just going to upload this video of my death.
Sorry.
No, essentially, to remake this, they reverse engineered the entire original game. It began in 2003, was finally announced in 2016, and was started as a fan remake between two guys. One guy, Ben Fouquet? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's French. He did all of the art and animation single-handedly. This game is all hand-drawn.
What, the remake?
The remake is 100% hand-drawn.
It does look good, though. Like, they did a really fucking good job with that.
Well, and he was talking about his inspirations and how he drew inspiration from Aladdin, Earthworm Jim, and Cool Spot.
Oh, you're speaking my language here.
And had to do every single frame individually, which I guess I didn't really think about this when you do a hand-drawn game. Makes it even more difficult because it doesn't provide any flexibility within the development. So if halfway through the game you go, I kind of want his character animation to do this, well, you have to go back and redo everything. It's not like now you can just go into the computer and go, and do that.
Yeah. Nuts. You got to really have it properly, fully planned out, I guess. Like, totally nail down the style that you're looking for, and go back on it.
He was talking about a comic series that he also drew inspiration from by comic artist Franco-Belgian. And if you look up those comics, it's almost identical to the art style. It's really cool. But the company, Lizard Cube, ended up working on the game with the original designer of Wonderboy 3. So they did a lot of fan service in this game. And I think they did it right. But it was really cool to just be able to flip between original graphics and remade graphics on the fly.
Does the gameplay still feel the same with the switching graphics?
Oh yeah, it's seamless. Where if there's an enemy in a certain spot on the screen and you flip to the old graphics, that enemy will still be there firing the same weapon.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, I think didn't Sonic Mania start off as a fan project as well?
I think it did.
So yeah,
Well, I think that's
pretty cool.
I think that's a great way of doing these, because I think the fan remakes are more in touch and in tune with what the community truly wants than the company itself.
Yeah, I think so too. And like, if Sonic hasn't proved that, I don't know what will.
Yeah, we could definitely stand to see more games revived like Sonic and like Crash.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been
because
a
they
good
had Naughty
summer.
Dog's involvement, didn't they? Quite a lot every step of the way,
I believe so, yeah.
just to kind of give them some pointers.
So who wants to take us through the basics of the game?
I can hit that if you want.
Do it!
Do it! So basically, as I said, Mecha Dragon puts a curse onto Wonderboy.
Tom Tom.
Tom Tom. At the Mecha Dragon, turn left. That joke right there.
Yeah.
Nothing
Got
but the
it.
best on this show.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so,
That is a fact.
as Eric said, Wonderboy needs to get the salamander cross to lift the curse. So obviously it's a platforming sort of action adventure game, and it's not linear at all, really. You basically, Wonderboy is turned into Lizard Man at first, and you have to progress through the game, figure out where you can go whilst using Lizard Man, because you later find out that there are different forms that you can get. So there's Lizard Man, Mouse Man, Piranha Man, Lion Man, and Hawk Man, all with different abilities. You gain access to these various stages through the game, so then you use those abilities from each version to access different parts of the game, usually ending up with a dragon boss fight, turning into the next form, and then you can carry on.
The game has a little bit of a labyrinthian feel to it as well, where you're not really clear as to where to go. I remember finding myself, I wasn't confused, but I just had to wrap my head around how the game was structured, because I wanted to go through this without a guide as much as possible. Mainly because we had 2 weeks to play it, and it was only 5-ish hours long, so I didn't feel like I needed to rush through it like some of our longer games. But you're dropped into a town, and you can go into a shop, a tower, and a church.
A church that's run by a pig in a stripy vest top, chief smoking a cigarette,
And an eye patch,
Hawking.
I think.
Yeah, hawking his wares in church.
which the church is where you get your passwords from. Can I just talk about the password bit for a moment?
Yeah.
So the passwords on this, like on the actual front cover of the game, it brags about having password save. Now, throughout the game, you obviously you get your different forms. There's different weapons you can collect, different shields and different armors. There's also other little collectibles, like there's these gems that increase, I think it's charisma points or something, charm points I believe it's called, which we'll get into in a bit. And also what doors you've unlocked, because there's certain areas where you need keys to get to the doors. And basically the passwords generate themselves depending on what you've done, what you've picked up. So essentially it is a really, really early form of a save system, but through the use of actual passwords. So each time you visit the church, if you've done more or picked up more or anything like that, the password will be different every single time. And I thought that was a cool feature.
I didn't utilize the passwords because I was playing it on Switch.
Yeah, I didn't either, because
Yeah.
I used save states.
It was cool, though, because I was reading about how if you had saves or passwords from way back on your old system, they would work here and vice versa. If you were playing this here on the Switch and got a password, you could take it back to the old console and still load it.
Oh my god.
Online, there is actually a password generator for this game. So you Google it, you go on the website, and you can basically put what form you want to be in, which of the 3 doors you can unlock, how many you've unlocked, how many of this item you'll have in your inventory, if you have this weapon, this weapon, this weapon, etc., etc. And you could basically use the drop-down bars to select exactly what you want, and it will generate the password for you.
Wow.
Like, someone obviously put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just an algorithm that this displays if you want this and so on.
Yeah.
But still, that's impressive. But I did find myself unsure of where to go and kind of what my point was at the beginning. I'm like, great, I'm a lizard. I can shoot fire. Oh, hey, I can go to the beach. What the fuck do I do over here?
Yeah. It was quite confusing because I didn't use a guide at all, and I was just playing the Master System version. So I kind of just the first sort of prologue baffled me a bit because I didn't realize I was playing the end of a previous game.
Yeah, like, oh, I got to this final boss quick.
Yeah, it just all kind of felt all a bit hurried and a bit rushed and a bit easy. I kind of figured that there must be something else to come, and then obviously, like you just explained, you're suddenly in this town area with like there's a nurse and a place to buy stuff, and I had no gold at this point, so I was kind of like, well, am I supposed to be buying things right now, or do I just move on? And it took me a little while to find the first level even.
Yeah, that's where I got stuck too. But then once I got to that first level, I found myself just kind of continuously grinding back and forth because I wasn't sure of what to do. And in the meantime, I was amassing a ton of gold.
Yeah.
Which I found myself doing quite frequently as well. There was a point later in the game where I spent probably 35, 40 minutes just grinding for gold so I could buy a certain shield.
Can someone explain to me, because I never really could figure out what the system was. So when you die, there's suddenly this kind of roulette game where...
Oh, you'd start with a potion.
Yeah, but what does this potion do?
If you die, it just restores your health immediately on the spot.
Oh, okay, so I did see that happen.
Yeah.
Although that's a bit strange, because I struggled with one of the bosses a bit later on, and although I was using save states, I went in there with a potion, and I think I had 5 hearts at that time. It was over 5 or 6 hearts I had, and obviously the potion just uses itself automatically, and I was kept reloading my save state so often to do this boss. It took me a good half hour to be able to do it, and each time I redid my save state, loaded up my save state, and got onto the boss, the potion used itself. Sometimes it would give me 1 heart back, sometimes 2, sometimes 5. It seemed really, really random.
Huh. I think mine always restored my health.
No, mine didn't.
Interesting.
Strange.
Interesting.
But yeah, basically the roulette is if you start with a potion or not. There is one shop you can find that does sell them.
So if you got a yellow heart, then nothing happened, and you just restarted the game with all the gold that you've just collected. So you could just kind of keep going and keep farming gold, it seems.
Yeah, instead of having to trace your way back to the beginning, if you're just kind of going through a level again, just die, go back.
Yeah. I wondered if I was supposed to be doing that, but that's what I was doing. Every time I'd finished a boss and went back through the door, I was like, okay, well, do I have to go back all the way through this level again? Or maybe I'll just kill myself and just go back.
Well, generally after every boss, there was always a door that returns you back to the town anyway.
Yeah.
True.
But if you're just going back into the levels and hunting...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So each of the characters has a different special ability. Lizard Man can just shoot fire. Mouse Man gets to walk on the walls, which, Mike, you were telling me that on the original it doesn't make that readily apparent that you can walk on checkered blocks.
No, you just turn into Mouse Man and then that's it. The only clue really that you get is when you come out of that section, you go back the way you came, and you can see a section that Mouse Man is small enough to get through. Now, if you jump across to it and accidentally attach yourself to the wall, then yeah, you realise. I mean, like I said before, I actually read the instructions beforehand, and it goes through the forms, and it does say that he can walk on walls and ceilings made of mouse block. So as soon as I got Mouse Man, recognised it from the instruction manual, I was like, okay, I can walk on some walls now. Figured out which blocks they were, And then that was when I realised. I think if I hadn't read the instruction manual first, I might have had to like look it up to see what the hell I had to do.
Was that the checkered blocks that he could walk on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mouse Man's level was the most infuriating for me.
What, in the forest?
In the well, then you start climbing the tower, and you have to go up the left side, and then drop down the center, and then go up the right side. Meanwhile, these genies are dropping down up out of the ceiling, and if you're not properly equipped, and this took me a little while to fully understand, is that just because armor that you buy is fantastic for one character, it's probably shit for a different character. So you're constantly switching between your gear, depending on what character you're using.
Well, the actual characters themselves have different stat levels. They're actually listed in the instruction manual as well. So Lizard Man is 0 across your attack power, defense power, and your charm power, and the other guys are, obviously the different levels on there.
Okay.
The first boss. Let's talk about each of the bosses. The Mummy Dragon,
which basically vomits Irish look onto you.
Oh yeah, it looked like 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah.
It looked more like a hedge pig as well than a dragon.
He wasn't nice.
Yeah. Nothing nice about him. Yeah, did you find just before we leave Mouse Man, did you find that when he was running around, it looks like he's holding a cup of tea instead of a shield?
Who, Mouse Man?
Yeah, it just looks like he's running with a cuppa really fast
Trying
instead
not
of
to
a
spill it.
Yeah. I just kept imagining that was his goal.
Oh yeah, and he's got his little dagger in the back.
Yeah.
Or it's his stirring spoon.
Yeah.
He does look like it.
Yeah, sorry, it was just an aside. How did you guys get on with that first boss? Easy enough?
I died
Yeah,
once
ages.
just because I was trying to wrap my head around what am I supposed to be doing here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the frustrating thing about the bosses, because what we haven't mentioned is you can pick up these extra weapons. So there's fireballs and arrows, and hurricanes, things like that do different things, and you access them from the pause screen. But I found out after playing it, because after I finished playing it, I went online and read up some bits and bobs because I didn't want to ruin anything for myself beforehand, so I did it afterwards. And some of the dragons, you can make it easier on yourself by using these items, but you have to have the correct one equipped before you go into the boss, because for some reason, during the boss, instead of getting the status screen, the start button just literally pauses it.
So you can't switch those weapons on the fly.
Switch those weapons on the fly whilst you're in the boss room for some
See, I
reason.
never really utilized those. The only bonus weapon I ever used was the arrow to get rid of those fucking clouds.
Oh, that's same here.
It looked like they're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
The cool cloud.
They're called, in the instruction manual that has all the names for the creatures, they're called hovering smog.
Ooh. He just shits out hot fire on you.
I didn't even kill them in the end. I just run past them as quick as I could.
I would collect a bunch of these things and then never use them because actually the second one I used was the tornado on the ninjas that we'll get to, or on the samurais that we'll get to later. But in the bosses, I felt like they didn't do much damage. Every sword hit, if you had the proper sword equipped, would do about 8 damage per. And I thought the other ones, I guess I didn't test them all on every boss, but they were only doing like 1 or 2 damage, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I found that I didn't use the... I used the tornado once, arrows a few times, never once used the fireball or
Never used the electricity.
I used
No,
it
never.
once just to see what it did.
Yeah, I did not.
It was just too cumbersome to kind of go into a menu, equip it, come out, and then...
See, on mine, you could just switch it on the fly with L1 and R1.
Okay.
How did you use them, Eric? Was it a separate button to use them?
Yeah, it was the A button.
See, on the Master System, obviously it only had 2 buttons. So you had one button which did your attack, one button which was to jump. So to use your other weapons, you had to press down and jump at the same time.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was really weird. It took me ages to figure that out.
So sometimes you try to use it, but you jump at the same time. So those hovering smog guys, if you were trying to use an arrow to fire up towards them, sometimes you'd actually jump into it at the same time.
Do you guys use the boomerang at all?
No, never.
I did when I ran out of tornadoes and I needed them for the ninjas.
I didn't use it at all.
So Mouse Man, you had to fight Zombie Dragon.
Yeah, he was surprisingly easy.
Yeah.
Like, he was easier than Mummy Dragon.
Oh yeah, it just took ages though. It was just the constant same pattern of he would go into the ground, move left and right a few times, and you just kind of leap over him.
Well, and if you got hit by his green spitballs, they would just kind of bounce you around.
Yeah. But I was figuring out that every attack I did would take between 2 and 3 HP away from him. So took me a long old while.
He's only doing. You must not have been upgrading your armor or your weapons.
Yeah, I didn't at that point. I was just kind of skipping all that stuff and just doing the levels. And then I started to realize once I dove a little bit deeper into it that you could change all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden shops too. Not all the shops are readily apparent, and the best gear is in the hidden shops.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Goblin Mail or something, I think I could have got early on, but I just couldn't afford it. It was like 190 gold, and I had absolutely nothing.
I accidentally got one of the later armors quite quickly into the game, quite soon in the game for free. So is it the Dragon Mail that makes you immune to the lava?
Yeah.
Well, at the very beginning of the game, obviously you go up, you get the key, you go through the tower, and you go left to go towards the pyramid area. If you go right there, you end up in like a lava area. And when I first started, I didn't know whether to go right or left, so I went right and struggled to get through there because all of the enemies near enough kill you on one hit. So struggled, kept going. I thought, fucking hell, this game's hard. One of the there's these weird like beetle enemies that shoot fireballs up, and you can kill them there because they're on the ground where you can get to them. And I killed one of those and got the dragon mail quite early. So that really helped me on the first few. When I realised I must be going the wrong way here, let me try going the other way. So I went the other way. Having that higher defense really helped.
Worth it.
Did it?
Nice.
What about the extra optional hearts? How many did you guys end the game with?
6, I think.
I had four hearts.
Whoa!
But I didn't finish the game.
Thomas?
Exactly.
You only had 2 weeks to beat a 4-hour game. I found all 8 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how many there were, so when I got done, I looked. And I wanted to get the rest of them, because after you beat it, you can go explore. I'm like, I want to go get the rest of the hearts. Already got them.
I only got as far as beating the the sort of pirate dragon.
So Piranha Man.
Yeah, is that his name?
Yep, he's next.
None of the Captain Dragon. He's called.
All of them said dragon in the top right for me. There was no different names.
The names are in the instruction manual.
Oh, the bloody manual.
Yeah, on the Switch version, they'd have a really cool intro scene that would flash their name across.
Okay.
This guy is the one I think I struggled the most with. Because his pattern was so interesting. He would jump up and then he'd shoot out all these hooks, and they would always bounce in the same spot, and they'd bounce and then go over you. So if you stood in the right spot, you're fine. But then he would do this goofy little hop, and you'd have to jump right as he's landing from his second hop and try to hit him in the nose. And if you weren't perfect with your timing on it, you'd miss. Or you'd run into him and get hit.
Because I found that Piranha Man was probably my favourite. Although he wasn't the strongest, he was probably my favourite form in terms of how he handled and the way he attacked. Jumping ahead a little bit here, obviously the next form is the Lion Man, and yeah, his attack is powerful, and it hits all around him, but it's a little janky and a bit slow, and sometimes you struggle to hit enemies with it. So
see, I found it to be exactly the opposite, because Lion Man, he almost feels just really loose and sloppy with his attack, because he does that arch where he can hit things above him, in front of him, and below him all in one swing. Whereas Piranha Man's sword just goes out at his face level.
I found more precise, and I liked that for some reason.
Oh, it drove me nuts, because when the fish are swimming towards you, you have to make sure to hop up just a little bit to hit them. But I did like how if you were attacking, you weren't sinking.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, I liked Piranha Man. The walk up through the sunken ship to the Captain Dragon was tough. Because this is where
ghosts start coming out of the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, so you'll get these different colored ghosts. Some of them just pop up. Others pop up and then shoot fireballs at you. So you'll walk forward, a ghost will pop up, fire a fireball at you as another one pops up. So you have enough time to either attack or block the first one and then turn around and attack or block the second one. So it all becomes very intricate. And this was right around the time where I'm not sure what was happening with my Switch, but I was using the Pro Controller, and all of the controls suddenly felt really sluggish. So I had to switch to playing in handheld mode.
Interesting.
No.
Weird.
I don't know. I wonder if that was the game or the Switch itself.
I don't know. It felt really sluggish. So then I put it in handheld mode. I'm like, yep, this is fine. Plugged it back into the dock. Wasn't fine. I don't know if the controller was dying, but with a battery life that long and it's always charged, I find that hard to believe.
Probably just needs a patch, I guess.
No.
Like you kind of hopped in there as soon as it's been released, so maybe they just need to iron something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, those ghosts. Because you can't see where they're going to come up either. There's no hint to where they're going to be. So
and then the Cyclopses come out. And there's different colored Cyclops. I believe these ones were green, where if you'd hit them, they would fall back a few steps and then start throwing boulders at you. And those boulders, 2 or 3 of them kills you. So I died a lot trying to get up to Captain Dragon. And I think that's maybe why I struggled with him the most. So I went and farmed a little bit for gold. And if you farm enough, sometimes enemies will drop potions. And I just got lucky enough where I walked into him with 2 or 3 potions.
Eric, how does the save system work on the Switch thing? Obviously, I was using save states. The Master System would have used the password system, which puts you back at the church every single time. And when you die, you go back to the church every single time. So how was the save system for the Switch?
To be honest, I'm not sure, because I would just always put it to sleep. I would just press the home button and then drop it into the console to charge. Or drop it into the dock. When you die, it just takes you back to the church.
Oh.
So that's where things got really annoying. Is like, hey, I'm at the boss, and I've slogged through all of this shit, died all the way back. But it's almost built that way on purpose, because you have to go through, and if you want to get the good gear, you almost have to go through each of these levels a couple times to get enough gold.
I'm so grateful for save states, honestly, because I think it would have driven me nuts, especially the next boss that we're getting to, the one I struggled with. I died on that over 10 times easily, and if I'd had to go back through that section, and that next section is fucking hard.
Oh man, them samurais and them ninjas.
Oh man. So the next section, you go through it is like a sort of ninja samurai sort of Japanese kind of area, and the ninjas will throw stars at you and then leap towards you, and sometimes you'll have like 2 or 3 of them at a time. And then you've got the samurais, and I think is it the green samurais, where you try to hit them and they kind of shimmy back a little bit, and if you miss them, they then fire 3 fireballs at you every time you miss them,
which I thought was really cool, because it kind of gave you a little bit of a lead up as to what to expect when fighting Daimyo Dragon, because it's almost the exact same attack pattern.
Yeah, but
this is where I used the tornadoes.
See, this is where it was the tornadoes I used here, but I used the tornadoes more back in the pirate ship, because there's those areas with the ghosts and the Cyclops, and if you threw the tornadoes, there were sections where there was like a barrel and then another barrel, and the ghost and the Cyclops would be in between the 2 barrels. If you throw the tornado down, it would go back and forth and kill them.
Oh yeah,
that's where I used those the most.
Yeah, the Daimyo Temple was a bitch and a half, because you get a couple samurai and a couple ninjas all bouncing around at once. You got to be really precise with where you position yourself after the ninjas are jumping towards you.
Oh, jeez.
I like Lion Man, though. I think he's my favorite character, because he's just got this swag to him. He's like, I don't give a fuck. But then again, I'm talking about on the Switch version. His animation is so cool. It's just a really sloppy animation of. It's almost like his arms are made out of like Jello, and they just wiggle around when he flails his sword because he drags his sword on the ground behind him.
I couldn't figure out, because obviously Mouse Man, you get through the small gaps, you can walk on ceilings and everything like that. Obviously Piranha Man, he can swim. It took me a little while to kind of realize what you're supposed to do with Lion Man, because obviously it's all about the arch of his thing, isn't it? He can destroy blocks all around him. Yep. So when you after you do this boss, the next section you get to, you just literally stand on some blocks, attack, and you fall through. But that took me a little while to figure out first.
Yeah, don't you need a special sword for the breaking the blocks, though? Or is it just his sword in general?
Yes, that is what took me so long. That was it, because I had to find that sword.
I don't remember what sword it is, though.
I had them all listed here, and it's gone. It's gone. It's gone, I tell you.
It's gone! I'm going to see if I can scroll through really quick.
I did read that level is easier if you utilize the boomerang on those samurai and ninja dudes that keep spinning around everywhere. Apparently, because when you launch the boomerang, they're totally paralyzed each time you hit them.
Uh-huh.
And so it just keeps constantly hitting them while you just stand there waiting for them to die, and then you can carry on.
Huh.
But that was just because I was reading the guide, reading ahead, trying to figure out, because you guys were talking about this level quite a lot and how much of a bitch it was.
Yeah. There was one part where, back to Piranha Man, I could not figure out where to go for the longest time. And then I just magically happened on it because apparently there are secret hidden doors in this game. So underwater, I'm swimming through, and I just happen to be pressing up while I'm swimming past this specific location and go through a door, and that's how I progressed onto the level, which lends itself to more hidden stuff throughout the game where you can get secret shops. And that's where, since we're talking about swords, there's a sword called the Tasmanian Sword, which is hidden in the underground, and it allows you to switch form at any time by just jumping in the air and pressing a button.
Yeah, you said this to me last night, and I was like, I don't think I was able to do that. And I think I'm going to have to find it now, but I'm pretty sure that was like a thing they made easier on the Switch. So on the Master System version, you had to have a second controller to be able to take advantage of that, apparently. I'll find it in a second.
Yeah, because this one just says jump up in the air, press up and square to instantly transform. Which I guess it would make sense if they made things easier. Apparently with this game on the Master System too, if you want to press pause, you have to press pause on the console, which that console wasn't... it was a delicate console. So here, if you had a second controller, you could press left, up, right, and it would pause the game on the second controller. Yeah. But I did not find the Tasmanian Sword. I didn't know about it until after I'd beaten it.
I can't remember I must have got it because I remember seeing it, and yeah, I did. No, I did get it because it's on the way to the ninja place.
Yeah, but it's a secret underground shop.
Yeah, I somehow found it. Don't ask me how.
So, what did you struggle most with Daimo Dragon?
So his attacks. He has the sword, and obviously he'll come towards you, try and hit you with the sword. Then he'll move backwards. The sword will go up, and then he will fire these 4 fireballs out, and the fireballs come down. Obviously, you have to avoid the fireballs, and then he will come forward and try and hit you again. And I figured out what I needed to do, as in I needed to hit him at the time, literally in between him putting his sword back up and firing the fireballs. But I just struggled with it so much, absolutely struggled with it, and he took off so much health. And I can't remember what shield I had at the time, but I'm pretty sure it was a good one. And I don't know. I just really, really struggled with it. It's one of those things where I know exactly what I need to do, but I can't.
It took me a few tries to figure him out. I think I took 3 tries. Like I was telling you last night, Mike, what I finally figured out was that, at least in the remake, he has a really obvious tell for when he's about to attack. So as soon as his sword goes up, I would jump up and hit him, and it would push me back a little ways. And depending on how far back it pushed me, I might land right in front of the first fireball. But if I noticed that I'm floating back too far, I would just press left again or away from him, hoping to land between where the first and second fireball land.
Well, I realized what I was doing and made it a little bit easier on myself, because when you hit him, he moves back. So what I was doing originally, because I said he comes towards you to hit you, then goes back to do the fireballs. I was letting him come all the way to the left side of the screen near enough to try and hit me. Then he'd go back, and he puts his sword up just at the last moment. And how I was doing it, I was making it really difficult for myself, because the easier way was to let him not go all the way to the left, then let him quickly move back, and you could be right next to him just as his sword comes up, and that made it so much easier. I think at one point, I died on this attempt, but I remember at one point I got him down from about 80 down to about 20 without him hitting me, and then he just obliterated me after that.
Huh. Yeah, he was definitely one of the more difficult ones. After him, you get Hawkman.
Hawkman, yeah, he was cool. It was cool being able to fly around and everything, but...
Well, that's where you finally just get to explore the world however you want and go wherever you want. Was
this the last form?
Yeah.
You turn into a bird with a sword and shield.
Yeah. He's pretty sweet.
The thing about this is, as soon as you get him, I honestly think I was very, very lucky on this game, because I was thinking about using a guide beforehand. I thought, you know what, it's a short game, I'm going to go and do it. And in terms of exploring and finding things, I was either very clever or very lucky, because I kind of figured the game out and realized that home hub where the church is, every time you get a new ability, there's something around there that changes, or you can change or get past.
Yeah.
And so you get Hawkman when you're back at the church. If you fly all the way to the right, because I noticed there was something there with a gap at the top, fly over that, and you can go back to the castle from the beginning where Mecha Dragon was.
Yep. And
it's over there. Whilst I was in there, I got the legendary sword and legendary armor. One was from a chest, I think, and one was from an enemy.
And then there's a secret shop in there. As you come out, come out in a well, but if you jump up and then back down and press up, you'll go into a secret shop.
Yes.
Oh.
This was the one point where I decided to go and use a guide, because I was thinking, going through, when I came out of this castle, I was thinking, well, both those two legendary items are in there. The shield has to be in there. And I have to have all three. I've got two of them. I'm not leaving without all three. And that was the one point where I used the guide to find out where the legendary shield was and found that shop. I wouldn't have found it without it, I don't think.
Yeah, and this is where I started to grind to get the Heavenly Shield, I believe it was called.
What does the Heavenly Shield do?
I'm looking for it right now. Why is it not showing up? Heavenly Shield. It just is Hawkman's 120 defense.
Oh, okay. I just
left
it with the legendary shield on.
I believe the legendary is 110. So it was 3,900 gold. Yeah. It took me about half an hour, 45 minutes to grind up that gold.
Oh, God.
But apparently, and I didn't do this, but apparently if you utilize the password system, all of those gold rooms regenerate.
Oh.
So if you walk into a room that has a gold treasure chest, it gives you 400 or 500 gold, you can just password out and come back in. And
were you guys pretty good at getting as much gold as possible once defeating a boss before getting the flame?
I was awful at it.
Yeah, me too. I watched a video of someone managing to get every single coin, because I was trying to see if there was a pattern to this flame, and there is, but I just suck.
So explain what you're talking about, Tom.
Well, it just seemed like when you once you defeat a boss, and they're gone, they're basically from the screen rains a whole bunch of gold coins that you can collect, but also this blue flame appears. And it's a little bit like Sonic, where if you hit the goal early, the bonus level's ended before you've collected all the rings, and it's the same kind of concept. So if you accidentally collect this flame, that's the end. There's no more opportunity to continue collecting gold. So you have this like last burst attempt to get as many gold coins as you can at the end of each boss fight.
I was maybe would get 2 coins max.
Yeah, same.
I was awful at it.
I usually wouldn't be prepared for it either. I just kept forgetting about it.
So with
I found it. Sorry.
Yeah.
On the Master System version, if you to change forms of the Tasmanian sword, you have to jump in the air, and now while you're in the air, hold button 2 on controller 2 and press 1 on controller 1.
Wow.
Oh.
That's like on Mega Man 2, if you have a second controller plugged in, and the other controller, you hold down the jump button, and then you jump using the first controller, you can jump super high.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How weird.
Well, that's not that strange a thing in some games, wasn't it? Was it GoldenEye on the N64? You could plug a second controller in and then almost have like 2 analog sticks.
I did not know that.
I don't know about that.
I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you have 2 controllers in whilst playing GoldenEye on the N64, because obviously you can on GoldenEye and N64, you stick, you move around, and then you had to press R to target, didn't you? Don't know.
Manual target, yeah.
Familiar you guys are with GoldenEye.
You can use 2 controllers to play the game in single player as though it was dual analog.
Yeah.
Huh.
No way, I didn't know that.
That is crazy. The final section, you need Hawkman. Fly up to the top of the windmill and fly left. And then there's this magical door hovering in the air.
I found this completely by accident.
Yeah, it takes you into this room with a bunch of blocks with stars on them. And if you have the magical saber, you have to break the center block to reveal a question mark block, which reveals a door that takes you to the final palace.
Now, this is where I admit something.
Uh-oh.
So, I found the last palace really, really ridiculously easy due to a glitch in the Sega Master System version of the game.
Oh, no. I found the last palace so hard. It probably took me 10 times through it.
So, I mentioned earlier that I checked in a guide to find where that shop was with the shield. And just looking through that guide, it listed the other items. Now, there's one called the Hades armor. Mm-hmm. Now, the Hades armor is supposed to... Basically, when you die, you refill your hearts like a potion would, but you don't need a potion. It was supposed to be, recharge every now and again. So if you used it, it'd be a while until it would do it again. However, due to a glitch in the Master System version, if you had the Hades armor on, every time you lost all your health, you'd get all your health straight back.
See, and there was...
Hades armor is in a hidden shop, but because I noticed this in the guide, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fucking get it.
There was one point where I looked at a guide. I think I was looking for the magical saber or something like that. And, it was in that room with all the blocks, because I wanted to know, should I waste all my time breaking these blocks? And they were talking about, but before you go through that door, make sure you equip the Hades armor. It'll make things easier. And I didn't know what the Hades armor did, and I had it, and I was going through, and I just kept losing all my health. I'm like, Jesus, not all the way down. So I would re-equip the legendary armor, and then trudge my way through it. And finally, I got to the final boss, and I don't remember what I was looking at, but that's where I read that one sentence that says, hey, this'll refill your health. And I did it first try on the final boss because of that. Which I think kind of broke the end of the game.
Yeah, well, definitely. The funny thing is, because obviously all the items actually have different abilities and stuff like that, but they don't tell you this in the game. And it doesn't tell you in the instruction manual, so down one for
everything else.
The final boss is where...
one by accident. Because I didn't realise the things had different abilities until I did it by accident. Because, I picked up the dragon mail I was on about that I picked up. that makes you it makes you impervious to lava. And I found this out by accident because lava was hurting me at one point, and I happened to change to the dragon mail for some reason, and then realized it wasn't hurting me anymore. And I was like, oh, well, these things must do different things. But I never figured any more of them out. But they do. So, for example, the lucky sword, if you have the lucky sword on, it increases the drop rate and the amount of gold you receive. The prince armor increases the drop rate of hearts and elixirs, increases the amount of health gained from them. Little things like that, but doesn't tell you anywhere in the game that they do these things.
Like the Tasmanian sword.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how would you figure out to hold one button?
Well, and this is where some people... I was reading about the zombie dragon after I'd beaten it, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, use the Tasmanian sword and go fight him as Lion Man and just whoop some ass. But I didn't know that. Yeah. I found him a little difficult to fight as Hawkman, since Hawkman also is like Piranha Man, where he just sticks his sword out at a straight angle in front of him, which if you're trying to do some of the other... What's that?
The last boss, you mean? Vampire Dragon.
What did I say?
I can't remember. It wasn't Vampire Dragon.
Oh, Zombie Dragon.
You said Piranha, I think.
Well, no, Piranha Man is very similar in his attack style to Hawkman, where if you're going through the desert and you're trying to fight those flaming sunflowers, you cannot hit them without crouching or jumping. As Hawkman. It got really annoying. But that's where some of the best gold farming was. But fighting Vampire Dragon as Hawkman was a little cumbersome.
Yeah, Hawkman was cumbersome altogether, I found.
I liked his flying, though.
He wasn't my least favourite. That was probably Mouseman.
Yeah, I didn't like Mouseman.
What I love about this is all the different forms. That's the word I'm looking for. Obviously, the Mouseman, Hawkman, and everything like that. His original form, it is obviously human, but it's spelled H-U-man.
Hoo-man.
Hoo-man.
Oh, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, the Hoo-man. Then you get the salamander and flip back to Hoo-man form. And then after that, you can continue exploring as human if you want.
Hoo-man. He-man's a strange cousin.
He-man and Hoo-man. I liked it. I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't sure what I was going to think of it going into it, but I really enjoyed it.
I didn't think much of it at first.
You what, Tom?
I didn't think much of it at first. I just it felt quite generic. And then once I realised there was a bit more of a system whereby it was actually worth farming for gold to get better equipment. And I did just like you guys stumble across areas that I wasn't sure if I was meant to be in, and that kind of opened the game up a little bit more, which was nice. It just didn't feel like it was just totally A to B, B to C, boss, and so on. It didn't follow this incredibly strict pattern, and so I thought it was quite. And you got to always think back that it was released on a mass system of all consoles, so
which I think is a testament to the character that's in this game. Even on the retro graphics, all of the enemies just had this genuine character to them. The clouds with the sunglasses and the crabs, just everything felt.
It's crab. That's what those crabs were.
They had a personality to them, and
if
that's
anyone here has seen Being Puppy Cat, it's the motherfucking crab that's after cleavage. That's what it is.
No idea what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So there's this series called Being Puppy Cat, right? In one of the episodes, there's this random ass crab following Bee around, just going cleavage, and it sees cleavage and everything. So it sees some ice cream, it's ice cream cleavage. Honestly, these fucking crabs, especially the red ones, they're the motherfucking cleavage crab from Being Puppy Cat.
I mean, they know what they like.
There's one point where, I think she... This isn't hentai or anything, by the way. It's a quaint little cartoon. But there's one bit where it sees a butt and it goes, butt cleavage?
Butt cleavage?
Yeah.
I love it.
Brilliant.
I definitely think the remake for this is worth getting. If you haven't played Wonderboy, the remake is just a genuinely fun game.
How much was it?
$20.
Yeah, see, if I hadn't already played this now, I'd say it's definitely worth it. But I think it's one of those games I probably won't play again.
In hindsight, I probably should have bought it on GOG.com because then we could have all played it.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was available on GOG.
Neither did I. Otherwise, I totally would have bought it on there.
Yeah. God damn it.
But as I said previously, I wasn't expecting great things because my memory of Master System games aren't that great, and I didn't know what to expect going into this. And you know what? I enjoyed it as a game, and it's actually opened my mind more now to the Master System as a console. And if you guys say we're playing something on the Master System now, I won't go ugh beforehand. So it's opened my eyes to that. Which is
this has become one of my more favorite games that we've played this year.
Nice.
I thought you were a massive fan of Dino Crisis.
Yes. This is just behind Dino Crisis. Just a couple steps. Any other thoughts on Wonderboy?
Wonderboy.
I know the whole time, every time I boot this up, I'm singing.
Yes, same. What is the secret of your powers?
Ring-a-doo-doo.
That is what I have.
If you enjoy a quaint little platformer and exploration and that kind of Metroidvania style thing where you need new abilities to get elsewhere, I recommend playing this. It's good fun.
Absolutely.
It's got a lovely little art style and a good time all around. 2 thumbs up from Tyson.
I give it 3 thumbs up.
With your extra limb.
That
I give
MRI
it one-
did a number
one-
on me.
One raised pinky from me.
Why not 2? Because you got your cuppa in the other.
And exactly 2 spots of milk.
A solid coin.
So
I
now
think-
to watch Jeeves play again.
I think Dan would have
Yeah.
really enjoyed this game too.
He did already call us bastards for playing something interesting while he wasn't here.
It's
He would like it. It would remind him of Rocket Knight Adventures, I think.
Yep.
Oh
So-
man, I wish you guys hadn't played that already because I love Rocket Knight Adventures.
That's the one where we were talking about the naked pigs and
Yeah, it was.
all of that.
That was a wild old time.
That was a long time ago.
We played so many games.
You make it sound like a bad thing.
It's just hard to remember all of them. Any final thoughts on this? Or is that it?
No. It's just going to go in a loop again.
Let's
Habitation homes.
let's check. We don't have any emails right now, but if you want to send us an email, factorysealed@metatank.com. Let's go.
Good email.
Yeah, we do. But I think we get more of our questions on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/groups/factorysealedpodcast.
Yeah, we were a bit late getting out this week.
We were. Where is my post with the questions?
I've already got it up. Do you want me to start with the first one?
Please do.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of his second name, but John Fazio has said, what was your favourite gaming-related Christmas present as a kid?
I have a lot. Most of my Christmases revolved around video games.
I just have a couple actually that really stick out. I've already talked about one of them before, which is when I got Final Fantasy VIII for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I played that from 4 or 5 in the morning until 9. Had breakfast, then opened the rest.
Is that where you didn't have a memory card and just had to leave it on?
Yes, that's right. The TV was turned off, console on, PS1 getting super hot, and
Sitting on the
kinda
carpet,
thinking,
just sucking up hair.
yeah, just needed to desperately go out and buy a memory card and get it saved. And then I guess the other memory would be getting my PS2 because that was the first time I ever got a console for Christmas, and so that was really exciting. Getting like a whole console with 3 games, and like it was just so incredible when that generation was around. Like we never thought games would look any better than that.
That reminds me.
Yeah, a new console for Christmas. Did your parents let you do that thing where you're allowed to play it downstairs for a few hours, which you were never allowed to do normally? Like you'd have a shitty little TV in your bedroom that you normally play video games on, but because you've got the new console for Christmas, the big TV downstairs.
I had a buddy whose dad refused to let us play PS2 on his big TV because he thought it was going to damage it.
What?
It was one of those old Sony rear projections. It was, at that time, this was huge, but it was like a 50-inch rear projection. And we just wanted to play some PS2 games on there, and he just adamantly refused. So whenever he wasn't home, we'd hook it up to it.
Yeah, we found that when the parents were out is when we'd hook it up to the quote unquote the big TV.
That 32-inch floor stand and wood case TV. That thing's got 6 dials.
Because it was so awesome playing games on big TVs when you're a kid. Because it just otherwise you just play on your 12-inch like telly that you had to. My TV in my bedroom, I had to manually tune, like turn this dial to get it.
Yeah,
I had those old that old coax to UHF connector with like the little C hooks that you'd have to screw in.
Yeah.
Oh man,
me too.
And I remember playing Cool Spot on that. It was honestly like a 16-inch black and white TV. But I think the Christmas I haven't thought about this in ages, but the Christmas that PS2 came out. I asked for it from my grandma, and she was kind of the catalyst behind a lot of my gaming systems and me getting certain games. So it's all I wanted for Christmas. And somehow, a few years prior, she had managed to snag me an N64 for that Christmas. So I'm like, Grandma's good at finding video game consoles. And we always would go up to her house for Christmas, and I didn't get it. So I was super disappointed. So I went back down to my dad's house, and my parents were divorced. So I had Christmas at my dad's that afternoon. And I open up this box, or he hands me this box, and it looked to be the size of a PS2 console. And I open it, and I can see that signature blue that the box was. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was just it was very distinctive blue. And I start freaking out, and I open it up. And it was a PS2 steering wheel. Like, Dad, I don't have a PS2. And he goes, oh, well, you're probably going to need this. And he gave me the PS2. It was just such a cool memory because my dad never bought stuff like that for me because, we didn't have a lot of money.
This isn't gaming related, but I remember one year I got a new bike for Christmas, and I was allowed to go. I knew what bike I was getting. I went to go pick it, but I wasn't allowed to have it until Christmas. And like on Christmas Eve, my dad picked the bike up, brought it home, and the pedals weren't attached to it. And I was like, "Where's the pedals?" And he was like, "Oh, are they not there?" And like made this complete. They must be still at the shop, and I'm gonna have to wait until after Christmas when the shop is open again to be able to ride my bike. And like Christmas morning, the first presents I opened up with the 2 pedals been wrapped up.
I mean, I've been known to do that. I did that to Christy a couple years ago. She really wanted that green yarn Yoshi amiibo. And she really wanted to play Yoshi's Woolly World. So I bought her the yarn Yoshi amiibo, which at that time only came with Woolly World. So I gave her that. She's like, well, great. We don't have a Wii U. I'm like, oh, well, I guess you're going to need this. So I kind of took that inspiration from my dad where I gave her something for the system and then gave her the system.
That's cool.
But I actually, speaking of the PS2, I actually ruined one of my friend's Christmases for him unintentionally because I'd had my PS2 and they did their Christmas a little bit later because they were on vacation or something. And I brought my PS2 over to his house and he asked his mom, hey, Mom, can we hook the PS2 up and play on the TV? And she goes, that's supposed to be for Christmas. How'd you know about that?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know that he had a PS2 waiting for him. Like, oh, God, I feel so bad.
No.
Yeah, his mom was not pleased.
It kind of reminds me when I opened a present and it was the little Rolls Royce Phantom key. I was like, I don't have a Rolls Royce. You're going to need to look out the window, son.
Here's your Vespa.
Yeah.
God, Tom.
Going
Oh,
back to
Dad, it's the wrong color. I wanted cream white, not pearlescent. Oh, sorry. And I wanted it in brown leather top, not black.
Take it back. No, now, not later.
Now put it on the curb for the garbage men.
back to the original question. Mine was the year I got the PS2 as well. I opened up my PS2, was excited about that. I don't know, I can't remember the reason why, but I know my dad would have got it as a bundle with a game, and he went to the effort of like getting the guy at the shop to swap the game out for what was the new SmackDown game at the time. I think it was Just Bring It, which turned out.
Bring It.
Yeah, actually looking back, it was probably one of the worst SmackDown titles, but I was excited.
It was, yeah.
And that graphical leap up from SmackDown 2 on the PS1 to SmackDown Just Bring It was phenomenal at the time. And yeah, just getting that and being able to play it on the, as you said, quote unquote, big TV downstairs for a few hours. Some of them get sick of it and go, oh, play downstairs now.
And it had commentary as well, I remember.
Yeah.
Just Bring It was the game I got with my PS2, and Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I think I got Crazy Taxi too.
Yeah. So that was a great time.
Terrible.
Do you guys have a least favorite gaming Christmas memory?
I don't know if I do. Like, I've always got something. Like, I've always got a couple of games, and they've generally been ones I've wanted. I think my least favorite memory, actually, my brother bought me a PS1 game, and I was really excited because you know how it was just in Europe anyway, the PS1 games were this iconic shape. There was nothing else like it. It wasn't the same as a CD dual case or anything.
Oh, you're talking about the really tall, thin boxes that existed for like a year?
Yeah,
we had those here too. They almost look like early DVD cases that were super wide.
Yeah, and one, I opened it and it was a game called Karishi, and I was like, oh, what's this? And he normally buys, like, he finds these random games and they're normally pretty good. Like, he bought me and got me into Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy 7. So I was like, oh, it's going to be exciting if it's from my brother. And oh my god, it was just a piece of shit.
The one with the giant blocks. You're like on a platform.
Yeah.
Blocks come towards you.
Yeah.
I remember playing it.
Yeah.
It was on a demo disc. I remember playing that.
Yeah, like, it probably wasn't a bad game, but like for Christmas, and it had just no longevity. I think in America it's called Intelligent Cube.
Oh, yeah. What was it called over there?
Karushi or Karashi. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I just remember this black box with this. It looks cool on the front. He didn't know it was going to be what it turned out to be.
A hot pile of shit.
Yeah, you're just dodging cubes, and that's pretty much it. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, it wasn't ungrateful, don't get me wrong, but it just was. It was just a bit of a surprising choice from him. I think he panicked, if I'm honest.
Mine isn't something that I received, but it's a testament to how dumb we can be as children. The year I got the N64, I didn't get any games with it. So my birthday is like 2 weeks after Christmas. So I remember just renting games. I was able to rent a game on Christmas. For some reason, Blockbuster was open and they had N64 games in stock. So I've got Shadows of the Empire. But then for my birthday, my grandma got me Mario 64. But in my brain, for some reason, I didn't want it because my mom had an N64 with Mario 64 as well. But I didn't live with her. But my mom has it, so I can play it there. So I returned Mario 64 for Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey.
I haven't played that, but it sounds terrible.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
But when you put it up against Mario 64...
The greatest 3D platformer of its time at the time.
Yeah, if not ever. I had to save up for a long time to buy that again after I'd made that mistake.
Right.
Whoops. Yeah, they were. I'm guessing over there as well. They were so expensive.
Such a wild disparity. I remember paying $90 in the late 90s for Star Fox 64, which came with the Rumble Pack, but $90.
Yeah, man.
That game was called Lilac Wars over here.
Oh yeah, 'cause it was in the Lilac system.
Yeah. So random.
I just have a ton of really fun video game Christmas memories. But yeah, good question. Any other questions?
Does someone want to take the next one, or shall I go ahead?
Just go for it.
Okay, Jay Jorgensen says, why is the SNES the best console ever?
But what if it's not?
Yeah, I'm afraid I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think you can attribute best console ever.
Nah, come on, Jay. Come on.
Vita?
Let's not get too crazy. Yeah, I'm all about that Vita life.
Yeah.
I'm loving that the Vita is getting a little bit more hype on the group. People are talking about it a bit more.
Shit, you and I have been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
I've been championing the Vita for a while now, and I heard it was on something else I was watching or listening to. Somebody questioned the success of the Vita, and I've been meaning to ask you guys this for a little while, actually. The question was, because you got the touchpad on the back of the Vita. If it didn't have the touchpad and it had been standard buttons instead, do you think it would have affected the success of the Vita?
I think it would have done way better.
I think so, because I think the problem with it had so many features, but this just made it such a expensive, like, boutique item. Like, they could have stripped away front-facing, back-facing camera, both touchpads, to be honest. I mean, maybe keep the touch screen.
Oh, you need the touchscreen for sure.
Yeah, just for, like, launching games and stuff. But you could have stripped that console back and made it a bit more bare bones, kept a good quality screen that the first model has, and it would have knocked $50 to $100 off the tag. I think that would have been amazing. I think the main problem we always go back to is the price of its proprietary memory, which was almost half the cost of the system, sometimes maybe more.
If you want that 64 gig memory card, be willing to shell out $150.
Yeah, totally. And I
for
think
64 gigs, that's insane. You can get a 256 gig micro SD card for under $100 if you're watching for deals.
Yeah,
I think if
honestly,
they would have gone micro SD, that would have just seen the success of the console explode.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I see a lot of reasons a lot of things that attribute to the Vita not being as successful as it possibly.
Yeah,
but I just thought that question about the actual, the touchpad and the interface of it itself, what you guys thought.
Yeah.
I think it would have changed the ergonomics of the system, and it would have pushed it a little bit too far out of pocket device because there would have been an extra bulge in the back. But
I mean, I've never held a Vita, so
this is.
Hey, when I come over, you can hold my Vita. Tom held my DS.
Yeah, it was decent. But the thing is, I really love the Vita. It's a great system, and I had never played one until I think actually when I was in the States and I played Uncharted on Eric's Vita.
Oh yeah, you touched my Vita too.
I did, yeah. I had a good go on it, and it is a really premium, lovely piece of kit. It's really cool. They could have
to get the OLED one though. You just have to.
Yeah, it was just really poorly marketed, poorly supported, and poorly priced. Like, it's just way too expensive for what it was.
I bought the Assassin's Creed White bundle. I paid $300 for my Vita, I think.
God, yeah.
That's more than Switch costs now.
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm glad that
Vita does look nice, though, Eric. You've loaded pictures of it before, and
it's super nice. I really like that one.
Oh yeah, the white one you have. Yeah, it's cool.
I don't think I'd ever mod my Vita ever.
I don't think I would either.
Just because there's too many good things to genuinely do with it. But to your point, Mike, I would have liked to had actual triggers on it because I do like to use it as remote play from time to time, depending on what PS4 game I'm playing. And without the L2, R2 buttons, it's just too hard.
Yeah, totally.
Well, there was, going back another console, the PSP, you can play PS1 games on there that you can download from the PSN store. And obviously, there's only 2 back buttons. I thought that was an oversight because I think correct me if I'm wrong, part of the marketing of the PSP was that you'd be able to play these PS1 downloads. But in a way, some of them aren't. They're supported, obviously, but in a way they're not supported because you need the L2 and R2 buttons for some of them. Some of them are just unplayable.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the PSP was such a good... Like, I'm not going to disparage Sony's portables at all because I loved them. Are they as good as the Nintendo DS? Hell no. Because of the library that's ingrained in that console is almost infinite.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? Because my internet just went funny. I have no idea what you just said.
Oh. I just said that the PSP and the Vita are fantastic, but they don't hold a candle to the DS in terms of its library of games.
Oh, God, no. I mean, if you go out and buy a 3DS now, just the back catalogue of games you've got access to.
That new 2DS XL, $149.
Yeah, I am not... I haven't got a 3DS or 2DS or anything like that. Yeah, I've got a DS, obviously, but I've been thinking for the longest time about getting a 3DS XL, the new one with the little nubbin stick.
Yeah, but the 2DS XL has that now.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper, and I'm not bothered about. I would probably never play with 3D on anyway. It doesn't affect me. So that coming out in the clamshell design, because obviously the normal 2DS is a fucking brick. It's a fucking cheese wedge.
To be 100% honest though, it is super comfortable to game on.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say that. It looks fucking horrific, but it is very comfortable.
My cousin wanted to get the new Pokemon. She graduated high school the year that Pokemon was going to come out, so a year ago in May. And she and I were talking about it, and we were out at the shop, and I just bought her a 2DS because they had them on sale for like $89. So I'm like, here's your graduation gift. You've got a 2DS to play Pokemon when it comes out in November, and it's surprisingly comfortable to play on. Yeah, I get hand cramps on the 3DS XL after a while. I didn't get that on the 2DS.
But with this new clamshell design 2DS, the 2DS XL, I am actually tempted. I mean, my next big console buy will be a Switch eventually. But I have been thinking for a while. But yeah, I am a little tempted with the original 2DS. There's a part of me that goes, I don't want to play it on that. I don't care how comfortable it is.
You can't take it with you, really.
It's a fucking doorstop. The screen's a normal 3DS size, whereas with the 2DS XL, obviously they're the XL size anyway. So I prefer
that. Next question comes from Santos Lopez. Are there any game crossovers you'd want to see made? Just for fun, I want to see Mario Kart versus Wacky Races.
That is such an amazing suggestion. I love Wacky Races growing up.
Yeah, me too. That was cool. Oh, I don't know.
I would go with Mortal Kombat and Tiger Woods PGA. Where you get to... if you beat somebody on a hole, you have an opportunity to kill them with your clubs. Because it'd be like Outlaw Golf. Did you guys ever play Outlaw Golf on the Xbox?
No.
Have you ever heard of it? Have you heard of Outlaw Golf? Oh, God. It is a blast. So it takes Tiger Woods and makes it super goofy. You have a caddy that if you want to boost your confidence in your ability before your tee shot, you can beat your caddy. And depending on how well you beat him, it gives you additional power for your next shot.
That's great.
Oh, God, it was so much fun.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that would be my game of choice, Mortal Kombat Golf.
I can only think of people that I'd combine that I would genuinely like to see do something like Sam Fisher and Solid Snake do some sort of like bunch of missions together or something, working for the same organization. I think that would be quite cool.
I would like to see the game would be like Phantom Pain, so the open world stealth aspect and all that, but instead of Metal Gear Solid, it'd be like the futuristic part of the Terminator franchise. So, like, the distant future where it's taken over and everything.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd like that.
Because then you could sneak into areas and take out the Terminators, and then you'd be able to have like on Phantom Pain, where you have Sir Helanthropus. I'm amazed I said that first time. Sir Helanthropus, giant robot. You could have, like, big fights like that with the giant Terminators that you see with the tracks and everything like that.
It'd be cool to have a Metal Gear Solid Tactics game.
Yeah.
Or like a Metal Gear Solid RTS. where you're building out different kits of Genome Soldiers and Metal Gears and
Yeah. A
that'd be
tactics
fun.
RPG could work. I
Did you
think they
guys?
did some?
Sorry, Tom.
I was
go on.
gonna. Oh, sorry. I was gonna talk. I was gonna say if anyone played Metal Gear Acid.
That's literally what I was about to say.
All right.
That was a card-based game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it did have some like that. It's sort of not total far cry from what we're talking about with this kind of like a tactics solution. But I never actually properly played it, and I remember being really disappointed.
I gave it like 10 minutes and went, nah, not for me.
Because the
Yeah,
other Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops was so hard to play.
I know, so disappointing. I thought that would be really good. Peace Walker though.
Peace
Very
Walker
good.
was great.
I played PS3 on the collection of the
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, same.
I think that's it for questions this week, guys.
Yep.
We have
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Great questions.
We got it out late, so there wasn't many, but yeah, good questions.
we have 2 more shows, 2 more before I head off to London.
Good lord.
And then we're doing
Town.
a live show on Saturday the 7th. We're going to somehow try to incorporate video into this. We have some cool ideas for other stuff. We got to figure out what game we want to do for that show.
Yeah, we'll have a think. We'll have a serious think.
If you have any
Because-
suggestions, let us know.
It's
I'm
going to be
okay.
it's going to be an extra game for us to do, isn't it? So maybe something short.
Or something that we can start now.
Yeah.
Mario 64?
I'm okay with Murder on the Erasure Express, but we should probably think of another one.
Yeah. I mean,
Murder on the Erasure Express 64.
yeah. I hear the CGI really is quite good there. Just kind of
Fucking
looking
so
back
cool.
through the community recently, there is a strong push for us to round out the creation of, I think it's Creation of Heaven and Earth series with Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer, Terranigma.
Oh yeah.
Terranigma's been on our list for a long time. We've just never gotten fully around to it. A lot of people really want to see us redo our Illusion of Gaia episode from 5 years ago.
Fair enough.
Christ, this show has been around for almost 5 years.
That is one of the episodes I've not listened to. Surprise, surprise! And is it a long RPG? Would it be a more than one part episode, or would
No,
it
it's
be
only 13 hours.
splash it out in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Oh,
we can
hey,
play that one.
hey, guys.
Hey,
2
Sam.
days, and this show will be 5 years old.
Whoop whoop!
We launched
That
on
is old.
September 5th, 2012.
Jesus.
Lordy Lord. No,
Those
Mike, to
are
answer your
them.
question, that game it's not super long. It's 13 to 15 hours.
Okay.
So it's definitely doable within 2 weeks. I think we should get that on the docket again, because I love that game. And if you've never played it, it has a little bit of a Zelda feel to it, with more RPG element or more
I've not played it.
story elements to it. I think I'm the only one here who has. I don't think Dan has either.
I've never played it.
No,
But-
I've not.
Next show, we're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, right?
That's the plan.
S3
one.
and K. Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Knuckles. And Knuckles.
Knuckles.
That's pretty short. That's only a few hours.
No
Ugh.
tails.
So we could start rolling through some of our bigger games. If we want.
Excellent.
But we'll get that figured out. Until then, if you like what we're doing, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/factorysealed. There are some pretty nifty rewards on there. I do feel obligated to inform everybody that we are putting a hold on one of our tier rewards just for the time being. There's quite a popular uptick in the donate enough to join us on the show, which has been awesome. We've had some fantastic guests. One of them is still just hanging around, and we can't quite shake him.
Wonder who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he takes the hint and we're going to suspend that just for a little while, just to let the show kind of fall back into a groove. Because we do put a little extra time and effort, if you can believe it, into the guest shows. And we just want to make that more of a special occurrence than constantly. So I think moving forward, what we're going to do is we'll announce coming up, hey, we're going to set aside a couple shows in the next 3 months for guests and just have it kind of be a
special event.
More of a special event, correct. Otherwise, I think eventually it might hit the point where like every show would have a guest on it. And we do still have the Factory Sealed Unwrapped, where prior to the show we press record and it's just us talking shit for anywhere from 3 minutes to half an hour, depending on how sidetracked we get, before we pop that clutch and put her in D. Yes. And other ones are extra entries into our digital giveaways, which segue, we're going to be doing a giveaway of Sonic Mania next show. What? Now, I was having a think on this.
That's dangerous.
I know. I did it before the MRI. Do we want to just limit it to we're just going to give it away on PC? Because I think that limits people that are going to want to partake in whatever we devise.
I mean, it's digital and digital only anyway, isn't it? So,
yeah,
are we able to do it on a console of your choice?
We are, but that to me that brings in the option for somebody to we want it, and then if we send them the code like fuck it, I'm going to download whatever I want. We've done it in the past where we've sent out digital code, not sent out digital codes, but I bought a PSN card and sent the person the code to download a game, and then they sent me a picture that hey, they actually downloaded this. I think our listeners are genuine enough that they wouldn't do that.
Well, can you not download the specific code for the game?
No.
For the consoles?
No. Well, maybe. I might be able to buy it on Amazon, like the digital code.
That's what I mean. Digital. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You can buy the digital download for that specific game for the specific console.
Oh, perfect. That's what we'll do.
And if it's an American listener, for example, you can get the code there. We can get the code UK, and I'm pretty sure there's a workaround if there's people from other countries as well. I know we have some Australian listeners. There'll be a workaround.
Yeah.
The guys with the dick bacon?
Dick Bacon. Oh, I haven't heard from Mark Haddock in a while. I miss him. He's the guy that would send me all these fun Canadian foods or not Canadian, Australian foods and shit from overseas. And he sent me a copy of Dark Cloud 2, sealed from Australia.
Has it ever been opened?
No, of course not. Smoking some crack over there, Tom. So yeah, we haven't settled on the specifics of what we're going to do for the contest yet. I think we need to hash out the details. But keep an eye on the Facebook page for details on that. We will be giving that away next show. If you're a donator on Patreon, whatever we devise will give you additional entries.
And whilst we're at it, thank you very much.
Yes. Anything else we can think of?
Reviews. We always love reviews.
Yeah. I haven't checked recently to see if we've had any.
Good old iTunes.
Yeah. On my new iPad.
Oh, he's mentioned it again.
Oh god!
Second note: delete 2 hours 52:13.
Or if you don't feel like leaving us a review, or you don't want to download iTunes or anything like that, tell a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. You know someone who's really into the video games. Let them know about us. The more downloads equals more listeners for us.
Yeah. And then we just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for this week. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you're going to have to put up with me in person.
Oh, God, don't stop.
Tom, is there anything I need to be warned of? You're the only one who's met him. Like, does he smell
You
funny?
need to be alarmed at how attractive I am.
Anything like that?
Be careful. Maybe some
any weird twitches I should know about?
some earplugs for when the Star Spangled Banner is just sang on repeat.
Yeah, I do have a
he sings
personal
that a lot.
boombox. Yeah. Oh, which we just got another question that popped up from Robert True. Who is the best singer?
Wonderboy.
Not Tom. I think that's hard to quantify because, well, Mike sings in what I presume is a heavy metal death band.
No, it's not heavy.
It's butt rock.
Yeah.
Mike is in a butt rock band. Mike and the Butt Rockers. That's a twofold joke right there, Mike.
have a response for that.
Gotcha. I do more show choir-y singing. I was more classically trained in the vocals.
I'm more a dancer, if I'm honest.
I'm a hip gyrator. I go forward and backward.
I do line dancing.
I'm sure there will be plenty of singing. I am known to break out into random song.
You guys have heard me on the show. You already know that's a thing with me. So
Yeah. Okay. Guys, that's going to do it for this week. We will see you all, hopefully, with Dan in his new apartment.
Oh,
Sorry,
you do realize that
house.
this is a Sonic show. He's never going to live it down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we'll
he'll
just
never lay that
we'll just
down.
completely discredit his love for Sonic. You're not a real fan. 2 weeks. We'll see you all then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.